Black Girl Hitler is interesting. That's interesting. That's at least interesting. Like there's like something to
A
it.
skit called Black Girl Hitler would
That's interesting at least.
KFC Radio is presented by Jackpocket. Jackpocket. I bet they love that I do that. America's #1 lottery app is Jackpocket. Jackpocket lets you order tickets like Powerball and Mega Millions right on your smartphone. Got an itch to scratch? Guess what? Jackpocket is there for you because now you can also scratch off tickets using the Jackpocket app. They got Powerball. They got Mega Millions. They got your scratchies. They got everything you need. Scratch the itch in states like Texas, Ohio, Massachusetts, Arizona, and more. Jackpocket, the one-stop shop for all of your lottery needs. Again, they're kind of focusing on scratch tickets this ad read, but I would like to remind you, Mega Millions, you can all buy that right here on Jackpocket. Just download the Jackpocket app. New customers get your first Powerball or Mega Millions ticket for free with code KFC. Again, you're going to get at least a free chance at probably 50 million, 60 million, 70 million. I don't know what it's at right now, but it's a lot of millions. Free. You get a shot at it for free with code KFC only on Jackpocket.
And I think, you know who would say this? Rone and Tommy and Francis.
Yeah.
If I go to Tommy and Francis right now and tell them that Rone is like, I'm nervous to be on a podcast because you guys were just on it, I think they would be like, get the fuck out of here.
Well, my specific point in that was that their perspective flows from them. And I feel like my perspective, especially as I'm like kind of like have been finding my voice like as a content creator, I don't know what my perspective is.
This is interesting.
Bro,
I like
this.
this.
Like,
See,
this is interesting.
Couldn't disagree with you more as someone who watched RoneDotCom this morning.
Yeah, I was going to say, how's the new show?
But like, I don't know what I think about the world. Like, I don't know what I think about, like, I don't know what my opinions on things are. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, I don't have like
feel you.
a perspective like that where it's like, this is fucking right and this is wrong. And I know the answer.
I'm so happy you said that because I feel like having been doing this for as long as I have, I hate the like. I follow so many people, so many influencers, right? And every time a story comes out, they put out like a video on it or a take on it, and I'm like, you just know everything, huh? Like you have the answer for every single story that's even remotely close to your field, huh? I don't mind having an opinion, but everybody purports themselves as like an expert, you know?
Yeah.
But I also think it doesn't put asses in the seats if I make a video being like, I don't know really what I'm talking about, but here's my thoughts. Like people want to like hear some
or
shit.
Or if you
know what I
consider
mean?
both perspectives.
Well, that's the other thing. Yeah, if you middleman it, it's like pick a side, you know?
I think we got all three fucking. I don't know what Jackie's stance on this
I
is.
literally was just gonna say on Fishbowl, every time you walk by, we're like, he's so goddamn cool. Like he's so goddamn cool. Like
That's nice of you.
We all agree. Like
That's
this
gas.
is cool.
Thank you. That's nice of
You
you.
definitely got the cool factor.
But as far as like
Yeah, and fun.
perspectives go, like I actually recently had an epiphany. It's kind of more of a New Year's resolution. I'm reading a lot more magazines this year.
Ooh.
I'm
Where
done
are you
with,
finding them?
I'm done with the news.
Where
I'm
are
done with
they?
newspapers. I'm done with the internet.
You're going to the rack and you're pulling them out?
buying
Like,
fucking magazines, dude.
Wait, but-
I'm getting subscriptions to magazines.
why not newspapers but magazines?
Too quick. Everything's too quick. I don't need every update.
So you want like a weekly
I'll fucking
publication?
sort it out and then tell me. I
agree with that.
I don't fucking need every day to be
immediacy
like,
is a problem.
Like the one of the things that made me decide like I'm tired of following this shit is the Baldoni, where it's like every day they have a new response.
Yeah.
It's like you two figure it the fuck out and then tell me when you come to a conclusion. I don't need every day.
Magazines were incredible.
Magazines.
Do you know what magazines are?
Out.
Have you heard of them?
You gotta zoom out.
Okay, but-
17
okay,
magazines.
If you're writing
do you
an
have a
article
magazine?
for publication, you have to zoom out, and it's got to be like, well, this has to stand, like, this has to be relevant
For like
this
a year,
week
basically.
and like in 3 weeks.
But honestly, people are
So-
going to grab that, like, that. You used to grab, like, if you're in a doctor's office or whatever, you grab it and you're like, oh, this is from March, but, like, you still read it. You know what I mean?
right.
So it's still got to have, it can be dated, obviously, but, like, it should stand up for a pretty long time.
I got a
What kind of
subscription
magazines
to.
are you getting, though?
I got a subscription to Vanity Fair, The Atlantic. I've always had the New Yorker, and I'm looking for one more.
Ooh, he's in the market.
Yeah.
If you run a magazine, hit up your boy Feidelberg.
When I was in like high school and like college, I used to subscribe to Esquire and GQ.
I was
like,
GQ guy.
this is what it
I was a
means to
big
be a
GQ
man.
guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Every guy was like, here's how I'm gonna dress, here's what I'm gonna like buy, here's what I need to like have hanging on my walls, like all that shit.
What I am is just the GQ Ask a Bartender. I'm just that page come to life.
But even remember I mean, it's funny because I ended up thinking he was kind of like a blowhard like loser. But Tom Riley, right? Tom Riley?
Rick Riley.
Rick Riley.
Oh, yes,
Back
yes,
at the
yes,
last
yes.
page of Sports Illustrated was always a good thing, I would flip to that first and it was like known, and
Rick Riley, page 2, that
Yeah.
Ask a Bartender. That was like, I was like, I have to read this every article.
You grew up on 17 magazine?
17 magazine.
Anything else?
Probably
Probably
I don't think
gossip
the
shit.
names, but like the girly ones.
Cosmopolitan.
And Cosmopolitan.
That was always like a list
Cosmo.
of like 50 things to do when you get
Yes.
your period.
Dude,
that
that
was
and
always
like,
the vibe.
it was like 300 ways to please your man.
It was all lists.
It was
Yeah,
like-
please your man.
I think
that was a big
I
one.
think Patrice O'Neal has a joke. He's like, it's 300 ways to please your man. Suck his dick, fix his Chappelle. Suck his dick, fix his sandwich, and be quiet. There's not 300 ways to please us.
It was always like use ice cubes.
Yeah. Put an ice cube up his ass while you pull on his earlobe. I love it.
I was like, I remember being young, getting a blowjob with an ice cube, and I was like, God damn, this is
Cosmo
crazy.
Bro, when I was young, you could give me a blowjob with fucking fire in your mouth. I'd be like, yes, whatever.
You
Wait,
know?
like she'd have it like in her cheek.
Like in her mouth, like which I couldn't do. My
like a
teeth are too
chipmunk?
sensitive. I could never have an ice cube in my mouth while a dick is in my mouth.
That's the only
I was
reason
like,
you're
oh,
not
hey,
gay.
a cold spot. But
Yeah, that's it, John.
The
Yeah.
only reason you don't suck dick.
What's worse, the dick or the ice cube? The cube.
honestly, what's more painful? Probably the ice cube.
What was 17? Is that like a bunch of pictures of like celebrities and it's like these two are dating, or is that like people?
Yeah,
Is
it was
that,
kind of like that was people.
Got it.
That was when I read it was like the side by side, like who wore it better. But 17 was a lot of like it was like most embarrassing
Heartthrob.
stories
Oh, okay.
and like stuff like that. Like a lot of segments ish. Like I remember like there was like this whole section that everyone loved. It was like like write-ins or what would you do or all this.
People
Yeah.
love that shit, man. Do you
people
remember
love that
the
shit.
lowest? I think the lowest Barstool has ever been. Do you remember those whisper posts? They were called whispers.
It rings a bell.
It was a
yeah.
Wait, what
big-
is
it
that
was-
like? Do moi type of shit?
It was kind of. It was like personal. It was anonymous.
Is it the old office?
Yeah, it was the old editor who we legally cannot talk about anymore.
Yeah,
The Rihanna
yeah.
guy. The guy.
I didn't know that was him, but yeah, I remember that.
And to be fair, he was brought in to raise page views, and these fucking people click on it. But it was just like an anonymous little like blurb that was like, one time like I was sleeping at my boyfriend's house and I like fucked my ex in the kitchen while he like didn't know. That's it. It just said that, and people would just read these things like
Oh, yes,
fucking
yes,
little
yes, I remember,
testimonials,
I remember.
and I remember them like being like top of the blog, and I was like, we're going in a bad direction. I don't care how many clicks this is getting. This is
Yeah, there would be
bad.
like a stylized picture, and the text would be like over the
Yes,
picture, would be like
yes.
a martini glass
Yes,
or something like
dumb
that.
shit like that. Yeah.
I remember like in 17 magazine, the worst one I remember, and I don't even know why it sticks out to me, is like this girl was like, I like had a face mask on, and then my dog ran out, and then like I saw my crush or whatever, and I remember being like, oh my god, and then like I grew up and I was like, yo, I just threw up on a dick, and he said, you don't chew enough, I don't think.
That is Jackie's craziest story.
That's not even like.
Well, that's what,
most
it was the most maybe the most uncomfortable I've ever been. It was like it's like your
I think I
daughter
got the
telling
gist
you
of it.
Gun dry.
the nerve of that guy though. It's like I thought you'd just be happy. I was really
How
putting in
about
a good
begging somebody
effort.
fucking choose? How about you're never getting a blowjob again?
Oh, he gave you attitude?
He said you don't chew your food enough.
He goes, I don't think
See, I think that's the funniest response possible.
No,
Like,
it was hilarious. It was hilarious.
Yeah, I'm sure at the time it was so funny.
Whatever.
God damn, is that a half a Big Mac?
You swallowed this hot dog whole?
It was like a dog.
It was like spaghetti too, so it's like you could physically see like you know, it's like I
Long
might as well just
shreds.
chewed like a tape. Like,
You gotta start
ruler.
putting rocks in Jackie's food like a puppy. She eats too
Like a
fast.
dinosaur
Yeah,
just
it's
grinds
like
it
an
up in her
owl, like,
stomach.
hair or whatever.
Okay.
But I want to say more about RoneDotCom before we got too far. Again, speaking about perspectives and stuff like that, I thought it was so cool. I thought the show was awesome. To give you the highest compliment possible, I woke up about 8:50 and I was like, "Oh, RoneDotCom's about to start. My phone's right here. I'll pop it on." And I watched like 10 minutes on my phone and said, "You know what? I'm moving it to the big screen."
Oh,
You bumped me
I
up.
bumped you up to the big screen, dude.
Real promotion,
Hey,
dog.
That's love. It was probably because you just actually wanted to be on your phone, but you wanted to give me the love
No,
and the
but
support.
it was awesome. But I like that you were just like we were always talking about like answers and stuff like that. You were like, "Look, we're gonna figure it out."
Right, like
And
the
you're the
first
kind of guy
episode's
who
not
like
gonna
we
be the
want to be
same.
on the ride with.
Yeah,
That's-
yeah. I feel like a lot of people will do that for you. Like, Like I think very few people can just kind of like freestyle it and trust that like people will be along for the ride. Like there are some people I think you got to deliver like
but they were also
package,
like 40 unbelievable ideas that I can't wait to see.
Yeah, I think that it's like I want to make sure that there is a baseline of like some idea that I came up with, so I'm not just like, hey, you guys tell me what to do. I think that's lazy, but I think having it be influenced by people who are watching is good, but like letting them pick instead of letting them dictate, I think is like a little bit easier. But also I keep on comparing it to like the first episode of The Simpsons. Not that it's ever going to be like that. I don't even care about the success of it. More it's about doing it. But like first episode of The Simpsons, like the voices weren't the same, the animation wasn't the same, the level of jokes wasn't the same. Like I think it will build into something that's interesting, but it's like for me more the joy will be in just doing the work as opposed to like getting the feedback.
I think we're all getting to that spot, which is cool to see.
Totally.
Because like, you know, you still have to perform and it's still a job and make money and all that, but a lot of us are all relatively in the same age group and been around long enough. Like even there used to be a time where it's like there were people here for a long time and people here for a short time, and now it's like long time versus longer time. Once you're you know in it for like a decade or whatever, you're here just as much as anybody. You know what I mean? Totally. So like we're all, at least most of us are like in that spot where we've been here long enough that I think it's time to people are realizing like just do what you want. You know.
And just like there will be feedback, but like if you let that dictate it, like that is the one-way ticket to mental health problems. Like,
it's a fine line,
that's
man.
one of the braver things about. I'd said earlier yesterday when you announced it, I was like, doing a morning show is incredibly brave. Like I can't do a morning show. It's just not going to happen. I'm never going to be able to do a live morning show. I'm not that guy.
I just don't know. Like in some ways, it's a morning show because it happens in the mornings. But it's like I'm not talking about the weather and traffic.
No, I think John literally means the time of day.
I mean
really?
waking up.
Yeah.
No. I mean like you can't miss an alarm, dude.
Dude, well, it's because
you miss an alarm, the show doesn't happen. That's too much
I'm going to
pressure.
have kids, and I mean, correct me if I'm wrong.
Two.
That I'm not going to be able to sleep in. And God knows I'm not going to want to be at the house taking care of them. I'm not going to want to raise
paternity leave
kids.
for me. These people who are like, I want like 6 months paternity leave. I was like, 2 weeks. See you later. Dog. That shit is crazy.
I think we get 4 months paternity leave.
Yeah,
in here,
it's crazy these days.
I can't.
Yeah,
you can't because like you have ads sold for your show. You know what I mean? Like you can't just not be on the show for.
There are two people in this world, and I think both of them are valid. People take 4 months paternity leave and people don't. And you can do both, and I'm cool with both. I just know which one I am and which one I am not. But
like maybe if it didn't matter if I was just like pushing numbers or something like that, and like at a desk job, it's like,
hated
oh,
my
fuck
job,
this place.
maybe. Yeah.
But it's like my success is determined by my output, and it's like I need to have good output.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was another part of that got me jacked up. Your whole like first like, I want responsibility. I want that pressure on me. I was like, let's get him, bro. Let's fucking go.
It's so much better, dude. It's so much better to work than to like get feedback about your work. Like it's so much better to work than like be thinking about it. It's just like so much better to do stuff. It's like doing stuff is like when you realize that it's like Miley Cyrus shit, but it's like the journey is the destination type of shit. Like it's the climb.
When we did our best work, I was never looking at results, money, feedback. I was just doing it. Like even before Barstool, I was just writing for fun.
Yeah, I didn't even know anyone was reading it.
Yeah, right. I think about it now. I'm like I just cannot get going on TikTok. Like I use it every day, multiple times a day. I do exactly what I do on Instagram. It does well, and it just does not work on TikTok. And it's like because the views are right there. You know what I mean? It's like you see it. I'm like, this did 200 views. I'm like, this is impossible, and
then you'll get someone who's just talking like with their mouth full, like doing makeup, and they have like 20 million views.
But there was a time where I would, if you told me that 200 people read my blog, I would have been like, I went viral, yo. And it's obviously it's all different. It becomes your job, how you earn. There's different levels to it. But I was like, I try to remember that time where it was like there were times where I was like not going out. I would be like, the guys are going out. We're gonna go watch the game, and I was like, I'm staying in to write a blog.
So insane.
for my previous site. No one was going to read it. I just wanted to finish this little piece of work.
That was your enjoyment activity.
Yes.
Like last night, I got home from work. I wasn't like watching TV. I wasn't scrolling. I was just like trying to write out ideas and work on stuff for this. And then I went to bed. It was like that was my leisure activity. Was doing something that I found entertaining for work. Like I thought that was the best way to do it.
We've talked about that before with Jackie Hobbies, where I'm like, I don't know. I find work to be a bit of a hobby of mine. Like I like doing it. It's fun. fun.
Yeah, it's nice.
And be like, that doesn't count. You don't have hobbies. I'm like, I kind of do. I think
so
I
annoying
enjoy
about
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's valid.
I also feel like because of TikTok, like everyone's in like a let them cook mindset where it's like we saw all these like creators like start small and then they just ended up like blowing up and they just like stuck with it. And like now with the TikTok ban thing, I noticed like a lot of people jumped onto Reels or like started YouTubes and everyone's kind of like so much more supportive rather than like cringe. I feel like
Really?
even my mindset's like, oh my God, they're going for it. That's cool. Rather than I feel like I would have been like, oh, that's so cringe. But like, and I feel like I've talked to my friends and they're like, wow, like that's smart of them to get on because everyone's just like, let them cook. Like,
Yeah.
let's see how this plays out because of the Charlie
Dude, if
D'Amelio's,
the-
Addison Rae's, whatever.
If the world could just get a little looser with clicking subscribe or clicking like or whatever, everybody would win. Just everybody do it more and everything. You know what I mean? It costs you nothing. It does
Costs
nothing
nothing.
for you, and it can like make or break somebody. I've been trying to like really crack the YouTube nut for a long time now, and like, if you really want to do YouTube right, you have to like pick a thing, pick a lane, and just do that.
Right.
And I just can't do that. It's just I don't have any expertise in anything, and I don't have any one thing that I want to talk about all the time that also would be have interest in people would have interest in. So I just said fuck it, and I just started like I have KFC Barstool on Twitter, Instagram, and now I just did KFC Barstool on YouTube, and I just put everything on there. And I don't know if it's gonna work.
That's good,
It
though.
probably won't because like I'm pretty sure I understand how these algorithms work and shit. But I was like, I'm just taking the blog mentality. The most success we ever had was doing a blog and doing a podcast where we just like rip it. I'm just gonna rip it. And like, you know, I put 5 videos up in a day. Like Bill Burr, the one about the Bill Burr thing got like 1,200 views overnight with no subscribers. All right, we're getting some traction. Another one, it literally said the words, no views. It didn't even say 0. It said no views.
How's that possible?
I don't know, but I was like, at the very least, I'm gonna use all of this information down the line. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it stopped me so many times. I've tried this YouTube thing so many times, and I'm like, I did a Game of Thrones video and it popped off. I'm like, oh, all right, I'm gonna talk just about Game of Thrones. I don't want to talk about just Game of Thrones every day.
That
And I
sucks,
talked
yeah,
about
that's-
Eminem's album. That popped off. I like rap. I don't think I can make like a whole channel of it. But if you bounce around, people don't seem to really subscribe or continue to follow. And I was like, I don't know, man. I still think I'm going to do it my way, and hopefully it fucking works. I don't know.
It is a weird thing with the internet where like it's and like we've lived through like multiple iterations of it where like I feel like when Barstool first started, it was better to be jack of all trades, not
Master.
no
Correct.
master.
And now
and then it went more master, and then I think maybe it's again it's so hard talking about the internet because it's all so catered to you.
Yeah.
So like, but most of the stuff I see now is a lot of people being like, I don't know, I'm trying something new.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's because of my algorithm or whatever, but like in my head, that's the newer wave again.
I think the algorithm fucked it all up, man.
You
I
think
don't
so?
believe in the algorithm.
You think it's fake?
Meaning like there's not even like, what do you mean?
I think that first of all, I do obviously believe there is an algorithm,
But
that
it's not. It
exists.
sounds so good to say.
I think like humanity, we always need someone to blame. Or someone to thank, or someone to be like humble about, and be like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just we got lucky algorithm,
Yeah.
and it's like it's just how we referred to God in the past. Where it's like,
gonna worship the algorithm
The
right
algorithm
now.
fucked me and I didn't get anything, or the algorithm praised me and blessed me. Like I don't know. I'm sure. Yes, I believe the algorithm exists. Of course it
It
does.
just used to be like more, you know, you had to like put Barstool Sports into a fucking URL and go there. You know what I mean? So everybody, all the fans that we had were fans because they were going to it. And now it's like,
Now even .com, even me putting .com in the name is like it's like referential to an older time, like on purpose.
Right,
It's
right.
like
Even
nostalgic
that's
to be like, oh,
like
.com.
old
Remember
school.
.com?
Yeah.
There are still .coms everywhere.
I mean, I used to like have my rotation of blogs. Type it in, type it in, like every time. And now it's just fed to you. And it's like, you know, the algorithm figures you out a little bit, but it's also like, I think it's the amount of times that people will send me a video and I'm like, that was just in my algorithm too. And it's like, we're all in the same algorithm. And I guess maybe, you know, they're
Well,
all like,
that's actually another reason I really liked RoneDotCom is because you were showing videos that I feel like everyone just sends the same 10 videos every week.
Yeah, right.
And you had like, I had to eventually get in the shower so I could be here in time for this. But I got in the shower right around the time you were showing like the kid battle rapping the potato.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
there was when I got out of the shower, there was a young video of Sass walking around. I think it's cool that you're like curating. You're like, I don't know, like again, exactly what you're talking about. You're like,
Rone is
this
the
is just the
algorithm.
shit I like.
Right, I'm just trying to make my own algorithm, basically.
Yeah.
But I also, the SaaS stuff, or just like, I want to shine light on people who are doing well within Barstool, too. So I was like just showing videos of like Nick and KB or Francis and shit like that. I think that that's like a little bit untapped. But
You think? People at Barstool, like praising other people at Barstool, I would say is completely untapped.
yeah, that could be like a good thing going forward, or just at least interesting going forward. But I think that we all have one fallback option that none of us have taken, and it is always sitting right there for us, and that's the grift. Like we could political grift. We could go left, right, hard as fuck.
My biggest, at this point, my biggest regret is not just going full blown
Golf or grift.
Golf or Grift could be a great show. It's like a making the band type show where you're bringing up influencers and you're in the golf house or the
you
Grift
can
house.
you can go for golfing
Bro, you know
or
how
you could
easy
grift.
that was sitting right there for us. We were like leading the charge on that shit until it became like overly political and overly serious, and then I was like, I don't want to talk about this anymore. But if we just kept leaning into it, non-binary, blah, 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 like we would have
100%. It would have gone crazy.
You know, Dave would be Joe Rogan right now. And not that Dave is not already a massive star, but like you know, even Joe Rogan did it. Like he went from being big to like mega just by leaning into. You go mega when you go MAGA. Like, it's just an easy...
It's insane.
That's the absolute opposite of go woke, go broke. Go mega, go MAGA. Go MAGA, go mega.
But it's like, there was a time where I was like, I couldn't do that. I don't think I could, like, live with myself. Not even because of the politics, just because I'm like, I'm living a lie or...
It's like, yeah, I don't really think that.
But also, now I'm at the point where, like, I don't give a fuck.
Right.
Like, if I'm personally past that, and it's like, yeah, I don't know, the liberal mob would come after me. Or if you went the other direction and the conservative mob came after you, it's like... I don't care.
There's no dollars behind seeing both sides of an issue.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you can't make money by being like, this is a good point, but also, like, there is this perspective behind it. And that is, like, where the truth is, but there is, like, absolutely no money in that space, which is nasty. So it's like, you either lean into it or you pick up a fucking club. And
Dude, the golf thing always makes you laugh because that was tips at barstoolsports.com, the number one genre.
Which was the email tips. You sent in an email.
It might still be active. I don't know.
To like, you know,
but
for us bloggers to blog it, for material for the bloggers.
The number one email would just be like, will you guys please make golf towels? And I'd be like, Dave, we got another one. He'd be like, we're not doing golf towels.
These morons.
Like, all people wanted was golf towels, and I don't know why we didn't make them.
it probably costs 10 cents to make. That's the cheapest fabric
you can
that
sell
there
them
is.
for, like, you know,
Yeah.
$500 in the
We're
golf
not
ball.
doing
If
it.
there was just one golfer in the original, like, OG crew.
Yeah.
Like, because, I mean, you know what's funny is Griggs was Grift.
Yeah, he was
Until
politics.
he was
golf.
He was politics
He was
rig.
like, I'm out.
Yeah.
He picked up the
Yeah.
golf club. It's like, oh, I can do this instead of like talking about Donald Trump all day. See you the fuck
It's
later.
so much better, and it's so awesome, and it does sit there for any of us that want to jump on it, and it will be there. But like, can you live with yourself? Like, do you really believe it? Do they really believe it?
Hell
It just
no.
wouldn't be fun. I'd rather have fun, and that's just not fun.
Well, like, but it goes, you know, it's like you reach a spot in your job where you're like lucky enough, blessed enough, did enough work previously to now just like have fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're really trying to make it right now for the first time though, it's a different story where it's like I don't have the luxury of just like I fuck around with my 4 friends here. It does well. It doesn't do amazing. It does well enough that we can all fucking live a great life. If you're like I have nothing and I'm trying to make it, it's like you almost do have to pick a thing and sell out or obsess over it.
And you know, there's like 17-year-olds grifting now. You know, there's like 12-year-old like
Grifting sounds like a weird sex term that
the fucking Mormons are grifting now. I mean, these perverts.
Tell Pat Bev about that next time.
Have you heard about
Dude, you heard
grifting,
about the
dude?
Mormons grifting?
It's fucking gross what they're doing. But I see 17-year-olds who are like being like, debate me, like Kamala should be.
the worst. Imagine being like in 6th grade.
If you've ever said debate me, you should kill yourself.
Yeah, it's so bad. Debate me on anything you want. Like,
Debate me!
Being like
No.
a blanket debater who will just like, I'll debate you on anything you want to fucking. It's like there's no merit to that.
There was an era where debate me was real big, and it was always so like, no, I don't want to debate you.
No, thank
It
you,
was just like
bro.
every Twitter reply, like debate me. Dude,
And I
shut
also
the
love the
fuck
like.
up.
why won't Joe Rogan debate me on his platform? It's like, because you're a fucking nobody. And
Yeah, it's
that's,
his
an
platform.
appearance on his show is worth like $10 million, you asshole.
That's what I used to say outside AT&T ballpark. Just like, why won't Barry Bonds go against me in home run derby? Why won't Barry Bonds go against me in home run derby?
Yeah, it's like, come on, get out of here. I saw a video, I don't remember what the account was, but it was during that trend of, I'm a blah, blah, blah. Of course I'm going to say,
Yeah.
And it was like, maybe 10, 12-year-old kids walking around being like, I'm a conservative kid. Of course I think
That's
Kamala
exactly
sucks.
what I'm talking about.
And I was like, it was like a little boy who should be like riding his bike and fucking climbing trees and shit. And he's talking about, the election. I'm like, oh.
And he
this is
probably has
bad
a
parenting.
fucking bigger house than any of us, dude. He probably is
Killing
fucking
it.
rolling in it because
Killing
it's
it.
such a good grift, dude. It's an incredible grift. But you don't come up with that shit on your own. Like, you have to be influenced to that. And I don't know if that's an in-house influence or if they get it online. Like, it could be Andrew Tate just in people's ears or whatever.
I think that's a very real thing for sure.
Game time. You know that we all love game time here at Barstool. I'm opening the app right now as we speak. I'm not even going to use the royal we. I'm going to speak about me personally. I like going out. I like going to see shit. I like going to do stuff. Jackpocket is an absolute savior. I open up the app like I open up a social media app and I just see what's in town this weekend. This weekend we got Lakers at Knicks, Golden Knights at Rangers, PC basketball. What up, Friars? PC basketball at St. John's. Wolverines at Scarlet Knights. I'm guessing that's Michigan at Rutgers. Monster Jam. La La Land live at Carnegie Hall. I bet that's going to be sick. If I actually was here this weekend, I would go see that, but I'm not going to be here. All kinds of stuff. Wicked on Broadway. Obviously, check it for, if you're not in New York, whatever city you're in, see what's around. And then try out the Game Time Picks feature. Because Game Time Picks, what that does is it filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. I was looking at tickets to Monster Jam the other night. Monster Jam sounds sick. And sounds sick, I can speak from experience because I've been a couple of times. You pull up your chosen event on the GT Picks setting at the top of the screen, or browse best local Game Time Picks deals near you on the Game Time app homepage. What are you waiting for? I'm going to give you those Monster Jam tickets with Game Time Picks right now. Download the Game Time app today and use code KFC to easily score great deals with new Game Time Picks. What time is it? Game time. That was not a good one. This ain't the little itty bitty teeny tiny bowl. This is the Super Bowl. This is Super Bowl Licks. Super Bowl LIX. Super Bowl 59, Gronk. If you haven't seen that commercial, it's on Fox Sports. Let's stop making fun of Gronk for his intelligence. like everything is just like, he's like 40 years old. He's like my age now. I think he's probably 34, 35. Leave Gronk alone. Christina Thompson? Yes. Anyway, scoring touchdowns is key to hoisting the Lombardi Trophy, and you have a shot to score big by betting on them at DraftKings Sportsbook, the #1 place to bet touchdowns. Ready for your first bet? Try betting on something simple like a player to score 6. That's it. You know who's going to score. You got a pretty good idea who's going to score. You know who's probably going to score. Bet on it. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app and make your pick. New DraftKings customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly with our code. Download the Sportsbook app and use code KFC. That's code KFC for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. I don't know what that one was.
Andrew
Tate.
Like
What's
just that influence, you know what I mean? Like,
what's your plan as far as your kids,
internet consumption?
Yeah, obviously, like, people are like, you can use a fucking screen. Like, people are crazy about screen time shit. But
I'm
like,
cool with screen time. I do worry about the internet a little bit. So Shay, I made like a TikTok for Shay that is like, you can't find it. She can't watch anything. Nobody can find her. It's basically just for her to be able to in the beginning, she was using my phone, making videos, and then just like saving them as drafts. She was using my phone so goddamn much. And I just put it on a tablet for her.
We can't be both addicted to this.
So that's basically the problem. So she started making like little videos, like totally harmless, nobody, not getting posted at all, whatever. And then the ban happened. And she woke up and was like, can I go like make TikTok videos? And I was like, it got banned. And she was like, what? And it was scary but kind of funny. Like the light bulb went off in her head. She goes, Dad, I couldn't go without like I couldn't go with it. I couldn't go without it for like 2 hours. I was like, yeah, that's how that internet shit works, man. I was like, so it was like eye opening. I was like, because part of me is very, in a way, I'm very pro it because I think look at all this stuff that I think is awesome. But I also know like the dark side of it too. So I was very torn. And seeing that, I was like, oh boy, you could really become one of those kids where your face is just buried in TikTok and like go touch grass sort of shit. But it was like,
yeah, that's tough. And have you guys seen that? Have any of you clicked on the TikTok the STEM tab?
I always see that, but I never clicked
what
on
is
it.
that?
It's like science, technology,
engineering,
math.
mechanics, or math.
Or I don't know. I clicked on it and it's like all educational. I guess that's what they have in China. Maybe that's all they're feeding them. But I couldn't
Literally, they don't feed them food either.
Yeah, literally. But I couldn't keep up with one thing that they were explaining, or like they're like explaining like calculus, and I just couldn't keep up with it. And I don't know if I'm getting dumber or if these are high level ideas, or like
there is
it was
some
whipping
value.
my ass.
I mean, like playing video games, my kid has learned to read way better.
Yeah.
He's learned like all the rules of sports by playing video games. Like I do think there is some value in that stuff. And like if you're watching engineering videos, I don't see how people can say that's bad just because it's on a physical screen as opposed to a magazine.
Yeah.
Like at some point it's like it's just the device, the medium that they're consuming it is the problem. Because if it's all good stuff and it's all educational, what's the difference between a teacher standing there and a YouTube video standing there? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there is that element of like when they're just stuck there. I guess that's the.
I've never
thing.
thought about it as like how it is for parents until I'm in this situation where I'm going to be a parent, and it does seem like fucking thankless. Like you either have to be their TikTok or you put them on TikTok. You have to be so entertaining that they're going to get that same dopamine hit to their brain by like the new things that you're giving them. It's like, what do you buy a kid a toy every hour? Like I don't understand how.
Listen, if you are one of these parents that limit screen time to like an hour a day, and you can fill the rest of those hours, God bless you. You are an amazing parent, truly. Again, like the paternity leave thing. I'm just not one of those.
Yeah.
Like, I can't. I don't know.
My friends
I
had,
play with my kids a lot. I talk to them a lot. I do a lot of shit, and there's still so many hours in a day to kill time where it's like, yeah, I'll just go play video games or like watch the tablet. I can't not.
I think just speaking from the one group of friends I have who have 2 kids, they said like their first kid they were very vigilant about. Like you don't on the screen all the time, blah 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 blah. But then when the second kid got in the mix, they're like, take the tablet and fuck off.
Yeah, and then when you think about third or fourth, it's like raised by wolves. It's like go ahead.
Do you think that people are more depressed now because of like the internet, or do you think that it's just like people have more terms for depression now, or like more access to the idea of depression?
Bro, it's a great question. I literally was making notes for this show last night, and I have where is it?
I also sometimes think like social media sorry to just
Sorry, go ahead.
okay. But like if you rewire your brain a little bit, like I feel like I used to get a lot of FOMO on Instagram now or whatever, and then I would see things, I'd be like, oh, I don't have that, those clothes, that body, whatever. But then I was like, okay, but if they can get it, then I can get it. So then now I kind of go on and I feel like inspired. Like when I see something, I'm like, oh, then that, it's like when somebody breaks like a 4-minute mile, that means like a bunch of people, then everyone can do it because somebody like whatever.
Yeah, you gotta see someone do it before you believe you can do it.
Exactly. Right? So then sometimes I'm like, oh my God, if they can do it, like what's stopping me? Like I've been, blessed to be born, whatever. And then also like, I think Instagram sometimes like you're able to present yourself in a way, like sometimes in order to like, if you want to rebrand yourself or whatever, you have to, like a big factor of that is having other people see you as that, because a lot of times you see yourself through other people's eyes. So if you present yourself, like if all of a sudden I was like this badass goth chick, and I don't have the personality to back that up right now, like I'm not
right now
you
will. Give yourself the chance.
But if I start posting pictures, maybe like like rah, like whatever, then you guys start to be, and like then you guys are kind of like, oh shit, she got a little bit of an edge to her, and then you guys kind of treat me like if done right. Like imagine again, like, if done right, then you guys start to treat me like,
dude,
I'm
totally
this badass bitch. So it kind of like, you can also use social media, as bad as it is, like you can use it in the right ways to like leverage yourself. Like if I want to rebrand myself,
you just do it. By the way,
I'm becoming a goth chick tomorrow.
Look at fucking like literally what you're describing is Machine Gun Kelly.
Yeah.
Like he just did it. And yeah, there was some people either making fun of it. Eminem like made you quit rap, or like you suck at this, or you know, you're whatever. But he just like kept doing it, and now he's that.
Yeah.
And it worked out pretty fucking well. The amount of people, like it's the grift. Like if tomorrow I just started being this political guy, there'd be like people be like, what the fuck? And in a year from now, I'd have a whole new following that doesn't realize that I just like did this. You know, look at Kirk Minahan. Kirk Minahan is, you know, him and the Kirk Minahan Sisters of the Poor. Like it's just like you find this new audience, you just do this thing, and it doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
Social media is bad and everything, but we also have this tool now to like level up in life that we didn't have before.
Right. You got
we're anti-depression. We're like anti-depression internet. It's like empowered internet.
First of all, I like how that question started with you going like, do we think like we're mental illnesses? Where's that at? And Jackie was like, I might be goth. What if I became goth?
At least for Halloween. At least for Halloween, dress up.
I am
Jackie
legitimately trying to work on having a little bit of an edge. Like, I want to just kind of be like people be like, oh, like
that's been your thing for a while. Do more drugs, get in fights.
Yeah. You think you don't have an edge?
I just don't think like I have like that like kind of like, oh, she could snap at any moment factor in like like maybe like in a crazy way, but not like, not like she's gonna bite
every
my
girl
head
has that on her.
Working on it yet.
But I think like not snapping, like I kind of feel like I have this same thing where I'm like, I'm not gonna fucking just snap on someone and be like, shut the fuck up, because like I have this like it's the same thing as being in the middle. It's like you also consider their opinion and their perspective and
it's
how
called
it feels.
empathy. You're a regular fucking human.
That's what I mean. Like, but I guess someone, you just need to check that at the door, I guess. And just snap on somebody.
There is. I mean, I remember talking to early days when AJ Delorio ran Deadspin. He was kind of like a Dave type figure, and there was a couple blogs that we respected or knew of or were big enough. And I think it was at the time where Deadspin was like running, you know, dick pics and fucking leaked texts and Manti Te'o shit, you know. And I remember Dave being like, Delorio will step on his fucking grandmother's throat to get page views. Like you just head down, no consideration for anything else other than success. If you do that, you'll probably be successful.
Just watch that movie.
For how long though? Because what's AJ Delorio up to?
That's what I mean.
That's true. You probably get burned out because you're like, this isn't me. Like, this is a toxic way to live my life.
Totally. Right.
But I just watched that movie, The Apprentice. Have you guys seen that? The Trump movie?
I haven't seen that.
No.
It's interesting, but it's about his like come up, and it like he has that mindset too, where it's just like, I'm a killer.
Yep.
I'm gonna be a killer. A killer is a winner. Like just.
I mean, he's a fascinating story. If you can't, whatever. If you don't support his politics, don't like him, whatever. There's no denying that it's.
The movie's worth a watch. It's very interesting.
I've heard it's so good, but I can't stand the fucking.
Well, it's also it's a gay fuckfest.
Oh, all right, I'm in.
There's like
I didn't even flinch. Okay, now I'm in.
It's literally a gay fuckfest. Like his lawyer Ray Cohn.
Yeah.
Is like
Michael Cohn. That's the one who went to jail, right?
Ray or.
The one who Jeremy Strong plays.
But this is
yes.
So that's a different guy.
Yeah, that guy. That's whatever. He's just like a gay guy, I guess, or I don't know. And there's just like scenes where it's like literal orgies at his house.
But not with Donald, right?
Not with there's a scene where he like touches Donald's like upper thigh, almost to suggest.
You know what's crazy?
You guys think what you want.
Who was that? Sebastian Stan played him.
He's played Strong.
So,
Yeah, he was talking about how little like publicity and support it got because. Like, he wanted to do actor on actor, and nobody would do it with him.
Really?
They were like, we're not talking about that movie. And he was like,
what?
It's just a fucking
It's like
movie.
almost, it's negative about him, though. It's like, well,
that's the thing. I was like, I don't know
if
if you were like Hitler in a movie, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, people would talk to you about that. Like,
Christoph Waltz probably did it after.
It's like, there have been villains and terrible people before, and.
He won. Did he win Golden Globe for that?
I don't know.
He won a Golden Globe for something. He gave a speech.
I'm sure it was that. Yeah.
For The Apprentice?
No. It was because he said something. Because he made. I remember he made sure he mentioned. That.
So he won for A Different Man. Then.
Yes. Yeah. And he was like this. And the other movie I worked on was also great. It was like definitely like, hey, don't forget that one too.
You guys were talking about Hitler in movies, and I've had this theory for a little bit that they're making Hitler too ugly in movies. That they're making Hitler like. Super gross, like in Glorious Bastards, they made him gross.
Yeah.
There's a show like where he's like he's like bald as fuck and like he's like always fixing himself, like super self-conscious. I think that by making Hitler super ugly, it invalidates the fact that we can recognize that his ideas are bad. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, like if a
Like, I
hot
don't have
guy
to-
said, "Let's go kill everyone," you'd still be like, "No,
right?
no, no.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
yeah,
I don't need him to be ugly for me to realize his ideas are ugly.
Hey,
you don't need to ugly him up.
You might,
Yeah,
but there
I
are
don't-
people
I
out
don't
there.
Like hot ass Hitler.
Fucking
Yeah,
how
you
many
got a
people? I'll
hot guy
fuck
in
Jeffrey
front of
Dahmer.
me, right? Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's what
I
She just
I know, for the record, Hitler, like, I'm for sure not with
But
him. No
an
matter
early
what
Hitler,
he looks
early
like.
Hitler before
No,
he was Hitler.
But I don't
You would've
want
been
early
like,
Stalin.
I don't want
Now we're talking.
Yeah.
Now
we're talking.
And I seriously don't want to test it. Like, keep Hitler ugly.
But then, no, I think-
want to test it.
I think that's our like number one test of a litmus of where we are as a society.
Yeah, you think we're ready
if
for a
like Austin
challenge.
Butler can be Hitler and people are still like fuck
That's a
Nazis,
good- that's
like
an
fuck it.
interesting
If like
call.
pouty Timothy Chalamet
Yeah.
is Hitler,
Dude, Chalamet could make Hitler hot.
Yeah.
Like Hitler cool. Remember that? There was that time, I think it was Hitler, it might have been Stalin. And I think it was Hitler or it was Osama bin Laden. Remember on TikTok when Osama bin Laden had a
Yes.
wave?
yes,
All the kids on
he
TikTok
wrote a
were like-
letter. They're like, oh, this is a hot letter.
he wrote a letter that was
Oh, I
very
remember
like, you know, liberal, woo-woo, like idealistic, and they were like, Osama bin Laden, not so bad. And I was like, ban this fucking
Six
Well, when you
five,
read
full
most
beard.
manifestos, you're like, guys making a
Yeah,
point.
yeah. It's where they went wrong was the mass murder. It's not the ideology; it's the execution.
enactment.
I remember
Yeah,
watching
literal.
Manhunter. Manhunter Unabomber.
Yeah.
On
Unabomber.
on Netflix, or it's not on Netflix anymore. But it's a great show. It's with Sam Witherspoon. Fucking Paul Bettany plays the Unabomber.
Yeah, that's a great one.
And I remember the episode where he's reading his manifesto, and I was like, this guy's fucking spitting bars.
Fire.
dude.
Yeah.
Like,
It's interesting.
Everything Kaczynski said about like the internet and the future is like dead ass accurate. All the shit we were talking about today, like he nailed that many years ago.
But no
he
one
just
cares
decided
about
to blow people up
No one cares
yeah.
about your manifesto if you don't like put something behind
because you can't be that middleman.
it. Yeah, exactly. If you
The
just write a
algorithm doesn't
manifesto,
respect
it's
that.
like,
You
oh, I
gotta
guess
be a
that's
terrorist.
Yeah, you have
be
to
an
go all
internet
the way.
terrorist.
Yeah, I watched that Unabomber show, and I was like, this guy's doing something with his life. What am I doing? Like, he's got confidence in his convictions.
Yeah, he knows what his perspective
That
is.
was like the Whitney Covey's joke about Luigi. She was like, he's a man with a plan who saw it through. He executed it. Like, we love a man who can.
Look at me. I'm just here laying in bed like, oh, I don't know. I guess I'll go get dinner. Like, fucking Ted Kaczynski's out there doing shit.
It's impressive.
I do
impressive.
think I think that the internet does potentially make you more depressed, but that we are just so overexposed. Like I do think the amount of interaction we have with other people who we're not supposed to have interaction with. I think you're
Yeah.
supposed to have like your friends, your family, a couple friends, your kids, maybe a couple colleagues.
And you read
Well,
the
that's
newspaper
why-
and you're like, oh, this is so far from me. Like, oh, like
Yeah.
15 killed in
Yeah.
Kuwait.
Right,
Like, wow, I don't know
right.
what Kuwait is.
That's part of what I was so impressed with RoneDotCom. Go subscribe. Is like I can't do a morning show because I can't wake up in the morning. I also can't do a show where like live chat because I think that's part of the internet that like I finally like honed in on. It was like, this is a problem for me. Like you can't have that many cooks in the kitchen. Like
interesting.
it was like, it's just
Totally.
You know what?
You mean like when people are like talking to their chat, being like,
Not even just for me personally. It's not even chat. It's comments. It's anything where, because like I saw an episode of Parks and Rec that like so crystallized it for me because I was like, oh, I'm Leslie Knope. And it's the episode, I don't know if anyone's seen Parks and Rec, but she's running for city council and she's having like a party at a bowling alley to attract voters. And there's one guy who fucking hates her. And she can't greet anyone else because she's just focused on making this guy like her. And Adam Scott's like pulling her aside and he's like, Leslie, we have to get
other
voters.
shit.
Like,
Yeah.
he's not going to vote for you. Fucking work on other people. And she's like, no, I have to get him. And that's how I am when I read things. I'm like, I have to make that person happy. And I'm just not good at separating.
They can't be in charge. Like every one of
Yeah,
the
you give
people
them
in
the
the
power.
chat can't be in charge. Like
Yeah.
that guy at Leslie Knope's inauguration, whatever, can't be in charge of like how she acts.
Yeah,
and
but
that's,
she was because she knew his opinion. He was in charge of how she acted, and I was like, that's
I was
how
ripping
am.
it without it, and I was like, I almost felt like I was supposed to. So I would like do it for a while without it. I'm like, oh yeah, what do you guys think? And almost like try to include it because I want there to be that interaction, but it was more natural to just not be.
Yeah.
well, that's what
Focused on
I think it's good if you have like a producer read it. I think there is good. It's also good like all of these things are good as long as you don't let them influence you negatively. You know what I mean? So if you let the
or
chat go and have
positively
the
though,
interaction.
like we always focus on the negative. Like
Yeah.
I would positively see like someone wasn't being mean, but they weren't being nice either. It was just like they were just sharing their opinion, and I'd be like, well, fuck, I got to get that person to like
you.
what I'm doing.
Okay, I understand
And-
that, but I also think, well, when it comes to feedback, I always think that positive feedback takes like a little more effort to do, and so
Yeah.
I feel like when people give you positive, you can't buy into all the hype, but I think it is generally a little more real than like just someone being like fuck you and getting their hate likes or whatever. So I think you can take it all with a grain of salt, but that's a positive thing. I think that can motivate you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
If you believe all your own hype, then it gets bad. But there is some level. I think getting some positive feedback and getting some critical feedback is.
And it's also the name of the game.
Yeah.
We also have it.
That's
That's
just
this
part
contract of having our fake job, so we can like get a little bit of feedback.
I mean,
that's
the
what we-
KFC radio was entirely dictated by the fans. Like, I started a Google Voice number, and I said, call up and leave your voicemails. And for whatever reason, it was like, 15 different drunk fucking probably college bros in Boston, the Boston area. They all individually left hypotheticals that were like,
Yeah,
who
that
would win in a
shit's sick.
fight, who would, this person versus that person in a pool, whatever. And so I went with that as like the first episode, and that just became like the whole show, at least for the first several years.
Yeah.
Had they called in and been like, let's talk about fucking baseball stats and shit, I don't know, I probably would have had a baseball show. Like,
golf.
So, or golf, or politics. Like, if they had only called about the Second Amendment. God damn it. But
what's
it just went that way,
Interesting though is like I saw something that someone was saying that not just kind of people with like the killer attitude are obviously the ones that are going to be more likely to become like influencers and like famous people, whatever, because they have that killer attitude that's like, I don't care what you think, whatever. But then we kind of have like a lack of like not empathetic people as influencers, but like just people.
I think we do.
Yeah, like
I was gonna
empathetic
say, you don't have
people.
to just put a disclaimer
Because
on that.
there's such a harder like it's like you are literally built in to care about what other people think, like seeing the comments and all that. So like they're much more likely to be beat down by the climb up.
That's why Victoria Paris is the GOAT.
Yeah.
Who's Victoria Paris?
She was like a woman on TikTok who just like put up like her strategy was like put up 50 clips a day.
Yeah.
Like
She
put up
doesn't give a
every single thing,
you
and
do.
she just like
it
has that
works.
part of her brain is probably like smaller. She just does not give a fuck.
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
so but then it's like we kind of need more people, like more good not
I know, but
nothing
it
against
just doesn't
Victoria's-
sell.
But no, but like it can't, like it's like I feel like you guys are all good like people and examples of just like I don't know, like you all like if you could break through that.
Yeah, I think you can get to a certain level. I'm trying to think if there's any.
But I don't think
examples of
it's
people who are,
harder for sure, but like also
I'm just not following.
just like good people who are not,
Remember when John
Grifting
Krasinski
or-
tried to do like
I
the
think it was
good
just-
news during
yeah.
or
But even
whatever.
that felt like a grift to me.
And
it was
it
like that
sold
was-
and like it stopped.
Yeah.
Like he made a ton of money off of it and like he just flipped it.
Yeah. I remember they tried to do it without him, and it was like, well, we like you doing it. Dude. And it was just like, see you later. I'm gonna take my millions and go. It's like,
but
fuck.
it's not like other people saying like, oh, we don't like good people in media or whatever. It's just like you telling yourself like, oh, I can't do this because I don't want to like let these people like piss these people off. Like it's you that stops yourself
Yeah,
rather
that is
than
true.
other people that stop you.
I don't even think it's other people. I think it's just like I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Well,
the reason I don't do any of that stuff isn't like
because of
I'm
success or
not-
failure. Or whatever.
Yeah,
Just like, I don't want to do that.
I don't have any
Yeah.
interest in that.
Yeah.
You're lazy.
No, but I think it would be nice if like one of the top podcasts was not inflammatory or fucking divisive or
But people
Yeah.
don't give a fuck about that.
But you
yeah,
know
they
what?
want. I mean,
juice.
I think there's kind of like there's probably like 5 buckets of content on the internet, and I think one of them is that like confirmation bias, where it's like people have an opinion and they are seeking out people who say that opinion,
Right.
And so there's gonna be a lot of fucking people who do that, and like it would be better if it was not that way, I don't know. At the same time, though, I say all this and it doesn't work, but like one of the things that the people who watch 1 Minute Man, I usually kind of just give both sides of that, just like here's what's happening. And a lot of people, for better or worse, for good for me, bad for like the world, people are like, I get my news from you because you just like tell me what's going on. So there is like a little bit of a market for it, but it's never going to be You know, if I pick a side on one of those, it would probably be bigger. You know?
Yeah. No, I mean, I guess, but like that's not.
It's not who I am. It's not what
Right,
I would do.
it's like I don't like.
It's really about whether
I
you
genuinely don't know.
Yeah.
Here's what we
Yes.
know.
I think if you are like political and argumentative and that is like your personality, then like rock on, brother.
Right.
You believe in that shit. You like the debate. You like the fight. Whatever. Cool. I just think that's like I can't even imagine that.
Yeah.
And even if you are that, I think the
Like
internet
Nick,
will beat
you know, guys know who Nick Fuentes is?
He's
I know
the
the name.
Kanye's boy, right? The anti-Semite.
Yeah, he's like viciously like he's the grift to like the
max.
he's like the final boss of grifting. He's like a fucking genius at it. But he also has people at his house like trying to kill him.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
Is that
That-
worth
you don't
like
think
he's
down the
making
road.
money?
You're
But
like, he's not hot enough.
yeah, he really isn't. That honestly, if you're hot enough, like Pete, that's how cults get started. Really, it's just
Yeah.
like a hot guy has like some wild ass ideas.
Get a
If you're
couple
not hot,
girls.
you're not getting it done like
Yeah.
that.
You I mean,
Who was what was the place in Texas right after Ruby Ridge?
Plano.
Waco.
Waco.
Was he hot?
Well, Taylor Kitt's
David
playing.
Koresh.
Yeah.
I don't think he was, but that movie made him. I mean, when Tim Riggins is playing you, but I remember being like, I don't know about this.
Yeah.
Like, it's like Efron playing Ted Bundy kind of work. This just feels like a little bit of a stretch. But maybe it's Rone's theory.
Maybe
Make him hot.
like a hot. I was talking to Rudy about this, and he was like, "They need DEI Hitler is what they need." I was like, Lupita Nyong'o is
honestly,
Hitler. Why
you
can't
know,
she play Hitler?
If Hamilton's doing that
I was
shit,
just
right?
gonna say, dude,
Right.
like Hamilton Holocaust.
If you made Hitler a black
Black
woman,
girl Hitler. Black girl Hitler is
Black
interesting.
girl Hitler is
That's
so
interesting.
Please
That's at
do
least
that
interesting.
skit.
Like there's like something to
a
it.
skit called Black Girl Hitler would fucking smash.
That's interesting. At
dude.
least it'll get like the
Man.
fucking eyeballs or the thought process rolling. It might be the
Black
last thing you ever
Black girl
do.
Hitler, we're all in blackface and we're all men.
Just being racist towards you.
mustache.
Is our
anti-Semitic.
sketch called Black Girl Hitler?
Featuring
Rone
five men.
wrote the song. Rone wrote it.
It is interesting though.
Oh my
It is.
God.
And as an actress, I think Lupita Nyong'o could kill that role. Just
Yeah.
because of
Yeah,
her
yeah,
abilities.
yeah.
She's such
You
a
win
good
an
actress.
Oscar.
Although I
Quick
did
fast
see
to that one.
fucking Day One or whatever it's called. That was a piece of shit.
What,
Which one?
what was that one?
Quiet Place Day One.
Oh, it sucked?
Yeah, so bad. I watched it on a
Really?
plane and it sucked. If it sucks on a plane, you're like the worst movie of all time.
Yeah, that's terrible.
I don't even think I finished it, and then Paz was on the flight too, and I got off, and I was like, "What are you watching?" He said, "Quiet Place Day One." I said, "What'd you think?" He goes, "I turned it off." I was like, "All right, that's 0 for 2 on this flight for Quiet Place Day One."
You both tried it?
Yeah, we both turned it. Lupita Nyong'o's the star.
There's
that's why.
no like, you know, they gotta be quiet the whole time. It's all like nonverbal acting and shit. It's all kind of like,
I liked it in the first part while they were talking, and then the aliens come, and I'm like, "Meh."
yeah, that's not your scene. We're what do you watch TV?
Oh, wait. Sorry. I'm starting to notice a little vibe around here at KFC Radio. I'm starting to notice everyone working out a little bit. I know I go to the gym a lot. I know Paz goes to the gym a lot. I know Jackie goes to the gym every morning. We just recorded a podcast where I think Kevin's might be flirting with it a little bit. He's eating healthier. He's all that stuff. We're on a health kick. We're on a group health kick. We're all in the same cycle right now. And who's helping us humongously with that, hugely with that, is Huel. That's why I talked about Huel. Huel is spelled Huel. It's like fuel, but with an H. It's a complete nutrition brand trusted by millions. Their Black Edition, ready to drink, is a complete meal in a bottle, high in protein, low in sugar, and packed with all the nutrients your body needs to perform at its best. Now, when I say Huel is helping us all out, you're probably like, "Oh yeah, John." They are, because we got a fridge in this studio right now. It's a Huel fridge. It's stocked with Huel ready to go protein drinks. We got Huel protein powders just sitting on top of the fridge. We are a Huel family in this house. It is a perfectly balanced meal designed by experts to provide all the nutrients your body needs from a meal. Huel takes the guesswork out of eating healthy. It is for your inconvenient meals with no prep, no cooking. Say goodbye to getting hangry and unsatisfying snacks. Just grab a Huel instead, and they also taste good. Huel shakes actually taste like a milkshake, and they come in delicious chocolate or vanilla. Bonus, low in sugar. Take the leap and join the community Hueligans with the exclusive offer for new customers of 15% off plus a free gift with code KFC15 at Huel, HUEL.com. That's 15% plus a free gift for new customers with code KFC15 at Huel, HUEL.com. Start your year off strong. Unlock a healthier, easier way to eat with Huel. Nutritionally complete meals in minutes so you can focus on what really matters. Sex! Now that I have your attention, let me tell you about Blue Chew. Have better sex with Blue Chew. Blue Chew is the original brand offering chewable tablets. These erection-enhancing tablets help men achieve stronger, harder, and longer-lasting erections for sexual activities, or whatever you want to do with it. Really, I guess you can. It's not for us to decide what you do with your boner. Yes, you can use it for sexual activities. I don't know if you do some weird shit with it. Whatever, do your weird shit with it. Blue Chew is putting its money where its mouth is and offering you a month for free. The process is simple. Sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you are approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. Blue Chew tablets are made in the USA and prepared and shipped directly to your door. You can take them anytime, day or night, so you can plan ahead, or you can be ready whenever an opportunity arises. Doesn't really matter. It's going to work no matter what. The best part, it's all done online. That means no visits to the doctor's office, no awkward conversations, and no waiting in line at the pharmacy. We can all relate to wanting to feel more confident, especially in the bedroom, and Blue Chew can help. Make life easier by getting harder and discover your options at BlueChew.com. We've got a special deal for our listeners. Try your first month of Blue Chew free with BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the podcast.
Yes.
Speaking of my scene, because I'm going to talk about that show too, because I need your help.
Okay.
I need everyone's help. I'm in a predicament.
I'm here.
Okay. So there's this new show on Hulu called Paradise.
Okay.
It's fucking awesome.
So dope.
Right? It's
so dope.
It's great. Yeah, like episode 1 is one of my favorite pilots of all time. I went in completely blind. So if you're listening to this, go in blind. Just go watch it. Watch episode 1 and then figure it out. But went in blind, watch episode 1. I was like, that's fucking television right there. Like the Scorsese meme, like this is cinema. I was like, that's TV.
Yeah.
Like fucking so good. So I got jacked up and I was flying high and I was talking to a lot of people about it. And I guess I got a little cocky. a
little out over your skis.
I got a little confident.
Yeah.
The only thing Dave and I ever talk about,
Oh no, you recommended this to Dave?
even a little bit, is television.
Really?
So I fucking fired off a text.
No, a proactive one?
And I was like, yo.
Oh, I don't think I've seen the show. I don't know if this is a Dave show.
So it was after episode 1, I fired. I was like, yo, Paradise on Hulu, go in blind. Exactly everything I just told everyone. And
You're okay, I'll let you finish.
And
But you're so dumb.
and I sent it. And then I watched episodes 2 and 3, and it's very good. But I'm starting to think it might be more NBC drama than unbelievable television.
Okay, I felt the same.
So do I tell him right now? Do I go, hey,
Yeah.
pull back
Oh,
on
yeah.
that? Or do I
yeah.
let him have...
Oh no.
See, because the last show
no.
I recommended to him, which I was... This is the... I was also a little on edge on that one. And I was like, oh, Dave loves this kind of shit. It was The Agency on Paramount Plus.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, I'm like 2 episodes in. It's your style of show. He loves like fucking that kind of CIA shit. And I was like, it's your style show. It's a great cast. I'm not sure they're gonna find their way, but like if you haven't heard of it, check it out. And then I recommend. So I can't go 2 back to back because then I'm on strike 3.
Okay.
Let
Let me lay out all my thoughts on this one. First of all, you texted me about Paradise, and you were like, "This is so right up your alley."
Yeah.
And you are dead ass, 100% accurate. So in what world did you pivot to Dave
'Cause
Portnoy?
it's still
if it's up
kinda-
my alley, there's no way it's up Dave's alley.
Well, but it's
Different alleys?
It's not CIA, but it's Secret Service. It's like
Yeah, but it's pretty sci-fi, bro.
But
pretty nerdy. Like
it's episode 1. Episode 1's all fucking
yes.
CIA.
But
Or
even
not CIA,
but the
Secret
end
Service.
of episode 1 is like we are into some.
But he does fucking Thrones, and he like so like
yeah, okay, okay. But here's.
because I don't want to send the text and say, well, I'm pulling back on that rec, because then I don't want him to go, oh well, this show. I want him to go in.
Maybe he loves it.
Excited. I don't want to fuck up his vibe going in. I want him to go in excited.
Oh, so it depends on if you're worried about Dave Portnoy and his TV viewing experiences, or you're worried about your reputation with Dave Portnoy.
Great question.
Because I'll be honest, after watching episodes 2 and 3, I don't think we're looking at like Game of Thrones, The Wire, The Sopranos.
I would
so
agree with you.
ruining Paradise for someone is worth keeping your reputation with Dave.
I don't think it is.
Really?
I think because I don't.
You're a very thoughtful man. if you're willing to fall on this grenade and have Dave Portnoy on the unnamed show be like Feidelberg fucking sucks at TV recommendations over Paradise, then you are a beautiful soul.
I think I enjoyed episode 1 so much, being so blind to it, that I just want other people to experience that. And then if you don't like 2 and 3, fine. I was very clear. I was like, I've only watched episode 1. It's fucking awesome.
Fair. I will say I Lioness was like my biggest recommendation of the year.
Yeah.
And every single person that watched it was like, you are fucking spot on. This is incredible. Except Dave Portnoy.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I love Lioness too.
Dave,
he didn't like Lioness.
Dave is stuck on this show, Tehran.
Oh, Tehran's great. Dave actually is the one who recommended that to me.
Yeah, and he's
Like about their city in Iran?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the same. It's
like
like to me, I think it's like a knockoff Homeland. I actually don't like Tehran as much as he does. I think like Homeland just kind of did it better. Lioness is a little bit different, but similar vibe.
Yeah.
Overseas terrorism, that kind of shit. But he was like, Lioness, he's like, this is just like a cookie cutter version of Tehran. I was like, I don't know, man. Okay, like
he's not.
Everyone is.
He's not wrong, but like the cookie cutter version is fun sometimes. Like,
it's like Tehran's
Tehran's
more entertaining.
Tehran's more spy. He's gonna hate Paradise.
Yeah. So okay, and that was my third part. Is like, I just don't think he's gonna like this show.
No,
I don't want to spoil it, but there is a sci-fi twist that like nerdy shit like me likes, and I don't know. Actually, then he's Star Wars and shit. There are times where Dave surprises you. I don't think this is gonna be the one though.
But if you withdraw your recommendation of it, then he is already going to think that your perspective on it or your taste is bad. You know what I mean? Like you might as well just like sit with your bet, even if it's like a losing one, because either he's
no
gonna,
hedge. Yeah,
maybe he'll like it, or maybe he won't watch it.
Yeah.
I think those are your only two buckets that
That's
you can
a great
land in.
point. I think because we talk about TV enough, not a lot by any stretch, but like we talk about TV enough when we talk that I think he respects my opinion on it. And I did love episode 1, and I liked episode 2 and I liked episode 3. I still like it, but I'm not as high on it as I once was. So
Yeah,
and again, I was very clear. I was like, I've seen episode 1. Episode 1 is awesome. It's as good as a pilot gets. Blah blah blah.
You know what I think?
I'm gonna leave it. I think I'm gonna let it flow.
I think he'll respect not wavering more than.
Also, because
stand
like
by.
we'll see him in a few days, and like I feel like
Explaining things in person is easier.
I will be better at being like, yeah, I don't know, man. Like episode 1 was great. Like rather than like sending it in a text, I think I can convey my whoopsies.
You know what is
better in person.
Do you know what is insane? This whole conversation. The fact that we live our lives this way is insane.
Also,
And I
like
hope
you
that the
guys
younger-
are made. Like you don't have to worry about like the fault.
No,
like,
it's actually the opposite. It's actually the opposite. The made men worry about Dave so much more than the new kids will be like, I don't give a fuck what Dave wants. Dave watches TV. Fuck him. I don't give a shit.
I've told this story before, but I remember when I was on a fucking Barstool Outdoors with Wonton Don and Sydney Wells. And I think I was driving, and Sydney was like, "How do you guys communicate with Dave?" And I was like, "I don't." And she goes, and I was like, "How do you communicate with Dave?" And she's like, "I just FaceTime him whenever I want." I was like, "You FaceTime Dave Portnoy? What are you?"
That's what I mean. Like we would never in a
Never
million
in a million.
years.
You would have to have a gun to my head.
Yeah.
You would have to have a gun to my head to get me to FaceTime Dave without like.
And don't get me wrong, we're ridiculous, but it's just.
Well, I don't even consider him as a person with likes and dislikes. Like
I don't consider him a person.
Yeah.
He's like this fucking
as like
being.
a guy who has like hobbies. Like, oh, he would like this show. Like, this is a food that he would like. I don't think of him as having like
either.
tastes and
No.
prerogatives on things.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I disagree with that because I have a pretty good grasp on his taste for TV, and maybe
I just didn't even know he watched TV until like right now. I didn't even
he's
know.
pretty quiet about it.
Yeah.
But he kind of just talks to people about it. He doesn't really tweet.
It's not like
about it.
content or whatever.
Yeah.
Dave's content is just, I mean, there's pizza, and then it's just like him. Like he's become his own like industry of content.
Yes.
But you're never gonna catch him being like. Every now and then he'll do like a recap of like a big episode of television or something like that. You know what I mean?
He did like way back in the day. He would do Office recaps on Friday mornings.
Really?
Yeah. So he has always been a TV.
there,
he
but it's not his-
He mentions it a lot less now.
Yeah.
But like
The Bachelor stuff, I feel like he used to be into, or maybe that was just Barstool.
No,
as a
American
whole.
Idol.
American Idol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he did have those, but I just think it's been kind of less. And less
But
throughout
the
years.
Star Wars shit is the most surprising. The
that
fact
blew
he
my
just-
mind.
Yeah, just
If
nerds
I
out
had to
with
guess
it.
before knowing that, I would have been like, Dave fucking hates
Hates
this
it.
shit. Like outer space, weird aliens, made up words and names and languages. Like,
Is
no
he a
fucking
little
way.
boy deep down? He might be a little boy. Maybe he's just a little boy.
He's a man child. He's always
He's
told
a
us.
man
He's
child.
He might be a little boy.
Dave using man-child wrong is one of my favorite. Oh, speaking of, Jerry Jones just can't stop saying glory hole. He did it again.
Wait, he actually said glory hole? I've seen
this
like
is the
memes,
fourth time
but
he's done it.
What?
Yes, for the last decade. I love this. This is one of my favorite running things. At this point, he's done it 4 times in like his career. That has been on like the record on air. It's like almost like a comment or something. Every like 10 years, he's gonna say glory hole by accident, and I love it. Way back in the day, I did a demo for Sirius XM. I was trying to get Barstool onto Sirius before we ever had Sirius.
Yeah.
And they're like, you need to make us like a demo, like an hour-long episode of sports
What it would be like.
talk, yeah. And I was like, but it's it's not gonna be sports. It's gonna be Barstool. And that night, or like that week, Jerry Jones said glory hole by accident, and I was like, this is perfect. So the first one was many years ago, and he was like, he goes, like back in the day, he's saying, let me just get it. Because the first one's really the funniest, because he goes like, I want me some glory hole.
Well, he is the kind of
What's
guy.
he trying? Sorry.
No, he's just the type of pervert who he has to know what a glory hole is.
It's a reminder, I've been here when it was glory hole days, and I've been here when it wasn't. And so, having said that, I want me some glory hole.
So that was the first time that happened. I was like, so he's clearly saying like glory days, right? Like,
I want me some glory hole.
and then he did it again and again, and then again, like this past week. He said that the Super Bowl is the absolute glory hole. He said, it made me get back to work because I want to work to the glory hole. Now, somebody. I didn't look into this, but right before we started recording, I posted a 1 Minute Man on it, and somebody left a comment saying he's a Texas oil man, and glory hole is a term for when you like find like a thing of oil. Maybe true, maybe not.
That's probably true.
But you also have to understand that a glory hole means a hole in a bathroom stall that you get your dick sucked through.
Yeah.
So you can't run around saying glory hole without at least throwing out the caveat. Oh, and by the way, I mean the oil glory hole, not the dick sucking glory
original
hole.
intended. Like,
Yeah.
yay.
Sometimes I wonder if like PR agents are like, hey, we need like a little bit more clips, social clips, like going around. Like you have to say glory hole.
It's maybe there's something I don't know, but an old man running around going, I want some glory hole. We got to get back to the glory
Or
hole
maybe
days.
he just means like a hole where you get your dick sucked in.
Imagine
might
he's
be
like,
what he's
no,
talking about.
I understand.
No, I know.
I get it.
Emmett Smith used to be in stall 3.
That would be the best. No, I know exactly what you're talking about. I think glory holes are awesome. They're comparable to a Super Bowl. Getting your dick sucked through a bathroom stall anonymously is like the Super Bowl. It's awesome. Have you ever done it?
Because what were the old videos of him with like he was getting his dick sucked, or he was like pushing girls' heads down or something like that?
Yeah,
or, like,
he was
doing some nasty
partying.
He's had plenty of.
I don't know if it was like literally getting his dick sucked,
Yeah.
but he was definitely.
Not on video,
He's got
yeah.
some wild pictures where he's got the pictures of, he's got pictures with hookers. He's got pictures with a Super Bowl trophy. He's got pictures standing on the front steps, not letting black students into his school.
What?
You never seen that picture of Jerry Jones?
Yeah, as a young boy.
As a young boy, he was on the steps
No
like
way.
blocking the.
God, that was
It's not
him.
the Alabama 3. It's the Huntsville,
Birmingham
3,
whatever,
maybe
yeah.
something like that. Like the first 3 like young black girls to go to school, like in integrated school.
Another in Hamilton.
Jerry Jones on the front steps, like absolutely the fuck not.
Yeah, it must be
tough.
so nice for the people who are like outside of Jeffrey Epstein's orbit, who were also pedophiles, but just like sourced for themselves.
Like they never picked up that call. They're so happy.
They're just like, oh, I can get my own.
Yeah, no, I got a guy, dude. I like my guy stuff
Yeah,
better.
there's Florida, there's Texas, there's California.
Yeah, he
Epstein's
just
over
gets
there.
his own,
I'm over
he's
here.
his own broker for children, or he's the broker.
He was on that show Landman,
Yeah,
and people went nuts for it because it actually was a pretty decent scene because you could tell he was not acting. He was
Really?
just talking about trying to make, if I remember correctly, it's trying to make your kids like take over the family business. And he was like, you do it because you think this is going to be great, that like you're going to like spend all this time with your kids, and then you realize that like you're just forcing your life upon your children. And I was like, I think this is what the fuck happened to Jerry Jones. I think he's just talking to Billy Bob Thornton, and the cameras happen to be rolling. You know? So
Which
what's
makes
the
sense.
sense?
The one with the really weird scene.
With the daughter?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a show that I can't. I mean, there are people who think that is like amazing cinema, and I'm like, his 17-year-old daughter is running around in like lingerie talking about fucking her boyfriend. Like every scene. It's crazy. And he also chops off
Landman?
his own pinky. What?
On Landman?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Good
There's like
show?
No, I mean, if I went into it being like, this is like a glory hole oil man, silly Billy Bob Thornton over the top sort of thing, maybe. But people were like, this is amazing. And like in the first couple scenes, his daughter is telling him, we have a rule with my boyfriend, like as long as he doesn't come in me, he can come anywhere he wants. And it's like, I don't think any daughter would say that to anybody, let alone like a Southern Belle Texas girl talking to her father. And then the next scene, she's running around in her underwear being like, my boyfriend won't fuck me. Like, what do I do? And he's like, oh, my daughter. Like, it's just so crazy. And I'm like, this would never fucking happen.
Yeah.
And then there's this point where there's an oil rig explosion, and he goes to the hospital, and his hand's all fucked up. And the doctor's like, we need to operate on that. And he's like, take the pinky off. And the doctor's like, we need to like operate on it. He goes, take it off or I'm taking it off. And the doctor's like, we need to prep you. And he just grabs a knife and he chops his pinky off in front of the doctor. And I was like, all right, this is just.
Well, isn't
But
that
it's
what
fine,
fucking?
but people-
well, what's his name? Isn't that what fucking
Ronnie Lott?
Ronnie Lott did?
Yeah. I mean, I guess there's some truth to these things, but it was
I
particularly.
don't know if Ronnie
ridiculous.
Lott cut it off himself, but he was like, just fucking take it off.
Yeah.
The football player got.
Rather than like miss the game, just like.
He's like-
But it's that kind of show. Like, I think it's silly, and I couldn't put up with it. But I just can't believe the people who are like, "Oh, this is amazing."
Why couldn't Ronnie Lott just play football with a broken hand?
Seems like harder to play with, like to chop your finger
I
off.
think it
and-
was nerves related. I think it
Like
was,
you won't feel the
like
pain
he
or whatever?
wasn't gonna be able to really use it anyway. Like they could reattach it, but like
So why not just tape it to another finger or something?
Yeah.
And let it.
It's pretty drastic to chop
So
it off.
many
No,
other-
Yeah,
I-
that's so
I've-
dramatic.
I've heard that from I don't know, it's not that I have friends that it's happened to, but I've just heard that like sometimes if a finger loses its nerve endings and you can't have control over it anymore, you just always whack it
Hit
on
it?
stuff, and it's easier to just have it taken off.
Huh.
I just would feel like a freak.
I would rather have a dead pinky than
Yeah, just give me a
be
dead finger. No
four-finger
one's
freak.
asking about it.
But what about going and getting in your pocket? You have no control over your pinky.
And it's just like jamming.
And
into
you're always
things.
like trying to like wedge your four fingers in there.
I'll tape it. Like Rone said, figure it out.
Dude, I'd press on nails for like a yak thing for a week or something like that, and
Something like that.
something fucking I don't know. But I didn't realize how hard it is to put like your hands in your pocket with the nails.
Oh, I can't
With, like, the
imagine.
press
How, they were long. They were like
They were
over your
like-
finger.
They were like decently sized, a couple inches. But anytime they would slide in, like they get caught and they like pull your nails back.
Yeah.
It was. I didn't realize how painful it is.
I don't really understand how other girls like. I rip a nail off every single time. Every single time I have like.
Those are
whatever.
real. You have
These are
regular
real. I have
nails,
just
yeah.
like been.
Yeah, it's tough. Or even, I mean, picking up credit cards also was like.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Impossible.
any of that
Oh, I
shit.
saw one that
Typing
you
is
pick
so
up a coin,
fun.
maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just whipping my ass. but the click is nice.
How long did you have it on for?
I think a week or 5
Oh,
days.
wow.
Shay,
Did you have to
when
keep it
Shay
on?
puts them on, she just sits there.
Clicks.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, so
like,
I feel so sassy. I feel like I text like flirty or whatever.
When did that become a prerequisite for TikTok videos? When like someone will show like their toner and like,
that ASMR
Yeah.
you know what I
shit.
mean? Everybody
yeah.
does it.
Yep.
It's weird.
And by
that
everybody, I
ASMR.
mean Brianna Chicken Fry and Jordan Woodruff. The only two. I feel like everybody does it. Though. Like, a lot of people are doing
love
it.
those sounds and shit.
You think that Lincoln's wife, Mary Todd Lincoln, do you think she would have been depressed if she had TikTok? More depressed or less depressed? Because we already know she was depressed.
So
I think she would be finding out her husband's gay a lot quicker. Be a lot of TikToks being like, "So Abe is fucking homo, huh?"
I saw the play Oh Mary,
Yeah.
which is very funny.
Magazines and plays over here.
Jesus.
But it's about how crazy. It's a comedy, so it's very funny. But she's insane. He's very gay, and it's just
He's gay in the play?
Yeah, oh yeah, the whole
Bro,
play.
I don't think he's gay.
Dude,
I think he's pretty gay.
That he's gay?
I don't know.
I've read
At this
books
point,
about it.
I
They
think
didn't say
he's-
shit about him being gay.
Okay, so I did a little research after the play.
He used to like sleep with other guys, right?
It is, I believe the statement was, outside of his marriage to Mary Todd, which is a very strong argument. There is absolutely no evidence to support that he's a heterosexual. And it was, but like also like back in the day, like, yeah, once I met my wife, I wasn't fucking, like, I don't know, like, you know what I mean? Like there's,
yeah.
Well, what's the
where would
evidence
the
to support he's a homosexual?
there's a lot.
Talk to me.
So he lived with men, which wasn't a thing you did back then. Like you didn't have roommates like you do now. He lived with men on I think 3 separate occasions.
But also slavery was a thing. You know what I mean? He was anti-conventional.
back then.
It's unconventional.
But it was like at least. But I think when you live with a man, you shared a bed, and so like it was. He definitely shared a bed with one guy for like 6 years.
Head to foot or?
Big spoon, little spoon.
But the most damning thing I saw was that I believe it was his stepmother, not his mother. So or maybe it was his mother if he didn't have a stepmother. But I feel like I remember reading stepmother when he died. In like her statement, she was like, "Never was a big fan of women," and so he was either misogynistic or gay, whatever she meant by that.
Please God, let him be misogynistic.
Ryan Long has a funny skit. You ever see that?
No,
He did a skit of like being Lincoln, like finding out that everyone's talking about him being gay now, and he's like, "Dude, I'm not. I wasn't. Why are you guys saying that? I wasn't gay, dude." It's very
Yeah,
funny.
it's crazy because the autists came for everybody after autism blew up. They were
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
He was on-
Einstein was
Yeah.
Newton. It's like, bro, you can't reference whether Newton was autistic. You have no idea. It's hundreds of
He
fucking
was
years
just
ago.
smart.
And now the gays are trying to fucking claim up people. You're trying to go back in history and be like, no, actually,
Pee-wee
he's
Herman.
gay.
Pee-wee Herman came out as posthumous posthumously gay. First person to ever do that I know of.
I didn't know Pee Wee Herman's dead.
Oh yeah, he's like.
What was he
Really?
jerking off in porno to pornos in movie theaters?
I thought he was a pervert. I didn't know he was gay.
Straight-
Yeah. Well, that's a pretty good cover.
But coming out as gay after you're
if
dead
you're
is pretty
gay
fucking
in the '90s, the move, and maybe it was the early
Jerk off
2000s
in
when that
public?
happened. If there's a rumor you're gay, just go in public and jerk off.
Just
Then
date Drew
why was I
Barrymore.
watching fucking straight anal porn?
The cum
dude?
is right there, dude. You saw the cum. I was moved to climax because of it.
Dude, jerking off in a movie theater is crazy. Period. Obviously.
Yeah.
And then if you are famous, is insane. That is insane.
It must be the thrill of it or something.
Gotta be, because it's like, dude, how horny can you be
Dude.
that you need to do this in public?
I almost jerked off in a
Movie theater?
not a movie theater, but like at a porn store. I almost jerked off once.
What age are we talking about?
I was probably 19. I was driving home I'd gone to see my friends at Rollins College, which is like outside Orlando, and I was driving back to Tallahassee. I was alone. I was hungover. I'd done drugs the night before. It's always, you wake up.
needed to jerk off.
You wake up a little in the morning after a drug night, and you're like, boy is horny. So I was driving. It's like a 4-hour drive, and that stretch of highway in Florida, for some reason, has a lot of like provocative billboards. Like for sure, there's a topless. It's not Waffle House, but it's a topless diner. And they're always advertising.
Hey, that's
for it.
actually pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah. And there's always advertising for it, just like topless diner. And they have like, it's not real people, but like cartoons, like big titties and stuff like that. And
On the billboard?
On the billboard, and I was like, damn, that's a fucking nice titty. And then as I kept driving, it was like next exit. And like this went on for like a long time, like 2 hours of me being like, oh, nice titty. And then I
Keep seeing billboards, or it was just the one?
no, continue. Like they advertise a lot.
Right.
They're not shy with advertising. And I finally,
I feel like I see where the story's going.
I'm driving, and then they're like, the biggest porn store in the world. And I'm like, I might fucking beat off. And so I pulled over. Like it said on the advertisement, it had like, we have jerk off booths. And I was like, that's exactly what I need.
Oh,
And then
I'll be honest, that makes it a little better.
Yeah.
I thought you were just like in the middle of the aisles.
no. Like I was gonna go into one of those.
I thought you were
booths.
like, I was shopping and like had the urge. All right.
But then
That's
Bro, you were
deeply-
driving around in a
deeply-
jerk-off booth, though.
Yeah, you said in your car.
What
This
the
is
hell?
deeply, deeply perverted, but better than what I was envisioning.
Yeah.
And then I got in the store and I was like, I can't
do this.
So I just bought a Belladonna DVD, drove home at 140 miles an hour.
Watch her put a baseball bat in her ass and finish the job then.
It's because you like make eye contact with the janitor.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude.
I can't put you through this,
You
man.
can't be in a glory hole like that. That's fucking crazy.
I feel like having gone to US, like, you know how like in TV shows now, like until you see the dead body, you can't really trust that
Yes.
there's. I feel like at USC, like everyone's kind of a little gay. And until I see them fucking a guy, I don't believe that they're gay. Like, so now I kind of have this like whole thing like,
Well, wait,
Abraham
should it be the
Lincoln,
other
I
way?
don't, what?
You're saying everybody's a little bit gay. I almost feel like until I see you fuck a girl, you're gay.
Yeah, until I see you
Yeah.
fuck one or the other.
Yeah.
But like I don't believe that you're actually gay. Like you have a gay personality. Yes. Until I actually see you fucking a guy, I don't believe that you're gay.
It's like a doubting Thomas, like how he wanted to put the fingers in the wounds. Like you want to see the guy put the penis in the butthole.
But also, how many
Yeah.
people are you gonna watch fuck a girl? How many people are you watching fuck?
Well, no, because it's like, okay, not actually, but
like,
like
all right,
until I
confirmation.
hear
Okay.
that you
Yeah,
have
yeah,
fucked
okay.
a guy,
Got
because
it,
like
got it.
you
I
know
see what you
everyone
mean.
could
Yeah,
be
yeah,
like.
yeah.
Too much gay stolen valor at
Yeah,
USC.
exactly.
yeah, 100%.
doing
If you're about it, fucking be about it, dude.
Oh,
you painted
those
your
guys
nails.
earn that shit. Those guys earn it. Okay. Let's
They
talk
would
about
hate
finger
you
in
and
the
your
ass,
press on
right?
nails for a week.
Speaking of titties, have you heard Sexy Red's masterpiece?
No.
Have you heard this?
No, what's she talking about? Titties?
You guys have not heard Bruno Mars and Sexy Red?
I have not actually.
Bro,
heard of it.
this song is unbelievable. I know we can't put it in the show, but you gotta listen to the fucking lyrics of this. This is Bruno Mars is getting out of debt. If he's in gambling debt, he's getting out of it because he's.
I
putting out
saw
hits.
him. He tweeted like, "Keep
Yeah, he's-
streaming. I'll get
Yeah,
out of that."
he's the first artist ever to pass 150 million monthly listeners on
my
Spotify.
God.
The song is called "Fat, Juicy, and Wet." It is Bruno Mars and Sexy Red. She goes, "Titties on your mouth, titties on your chin, titties on titties with my big titty friend." And it's her rubbing her tits on another girl. I mean, it's a masterpiece. It's
I wonder if
simply
they
a
have
masterpiece.
writers.
I literally, this could not have taken like more than
And who is it? Is it
an
like a
hour
Jewish
to-
guy in the studio?
Yeah,
This
right,
is what
right.
you need to do.
Yeah, because like Sexyy Red, I would think that she is this person, but like at this point she probably has writers and like a whole. It's like here you go, just.
Yeah, I
talk
saw
about,
a discourse about Bruno.
She's a coochie. She says a coochie autograph or something. It's the lyrics are unbelievable. What were you saying?
Or just I just saw people talking about Bruno Mars, and I didn't realize they were talking about this song. But
Well,
they
he's
were like,
got
"This is how
that.
he's
See
always
that
been."
one, and then he had that one APT, which was like to start the year. He has like 3 like #1 hits.
He's
in
got
a
that
row.
one with Gaga. It's I haven't
from the
heard,
Joker,
but
yeah.
like, it's like I
Very
haven't-
different vibes
I
than
haven't
Fat,
heard
Juicy, and
that
Wet.
song. I think it's like the #1 stream song of 2024.
Yeah, it was
I
a
haven't heard
big. It was.
Die with
He
a
has like
Smile.
3 #1s.
What was that?
Die with a Smile.
Yeah. Have you heard it?
Yeah.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's real good.
I saw that. I remember hearing about it and then just never hearing it. And then I saw yesterday, like it's by far #1 stream.
Mm-hmm.
I thought "Leave the Door Open" was nice.
Which one's that?
You gotta leave
Oh.
the door.
He's got
It's like
some.
his like wedding. He has. That's what they were talking about in the discourse. He has like 5 wedding songs.
Yeah,
like,
he's
he has
smart like
5,
that.
Like he's like a genius when it comes to like everybody will play these songs for all of time.
I
1000%.
rarely listen to albums. I have like 3 albums I listen to, and this one's not in that 3 mix, but it's kind of on like 4 or 5. Silk Sonic is
Amazing.
absolutely outrageous.
I think that was him trying to do a little more like. I don't just make like these bops though. I'm trying to make like real music.
That
you know
is
what I
not,
mean?
but like those, I think it's only like 8 songs or something like that. That album is, I mean, no skips. Fucking.
You think
awesome.
like that's like Ed Sheeran almost making?
I meant to
fucking-
talk to you about this.
What?
What is? I love Ed Sheeran. So what are you gonna do?
Oh, I gotta play you the song.
Yeah.
I gotta play you the song.
You said you're gonna put him on notice, right? I'm a big Ed Sheeran guy.
Wait, what's going on with Ed Sheeran? Explain.
I have like an Ed Sheeran song, like almost styled in the like kind of an Ed Sheeran styled song, and it's gonna basically like he's gonna have to rethink everything.
Long story short, he's.
He's on notice.
Like it's so good.
Are you in contact? Like a.
No,
What do you-
like I'm not
oh.
in contact with
Oh,
him.
okay.
But it's recorded. It's in the mastering stage, and it's just like he's gonna have to. He's gonna have to step his game up.
Are you singing?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I feel like you found your singing voice after like pop punk. I don't know.
Yeah,
You started...
I mean, I was in the church choir at 6 years old, or
Yeah.
6th grade. But yeah, so I'll play it for you after this.
Fuck yeah. And
this fun?
Speedrunner, I heard you mention that on the show. Is that his genre? Is
Or
that-
no, just in general, like speed run a song, like just try to make a song as fast as possible in a,
Oh, okay.
specific genre.
I feel
I
like
see.
Bruno Mars and Sexyy Red did that. Yeah, exactly. I feel like they like
freak
spun a
song?
wheel and it was like pussy. Okay, let's go. Like,
Yeah, that's I need to be doing shit like that.
yeah.
Just make it
Yo,
a freak
I mean,
song.
this is the quintessential TikTok song. Like, I don't need the verse of Sexyy Red screaming about her tits, but the little bass line with a little hook of Bruno Mars, like crooning like that is like you listen to that for 15 seconds on TikTok.
Yeah.
And the rest of the song fucking sucks. Same thing with the other hit he had. It's like, do you want me like I want you in that song? Like,
Oh.
That's really all it
Perfect
is
TikTok song.
these days too. You need a good 15 seconds of a song. Because I'll hear a song on my Discover Weekly, and I won't have heard any of the rest of the song, but then I'll hear like, get it how I live it, 10 toes down, and it's like I didn't even know this was part of a real song.
yeah,
but it's
right. I thought that was just like a sound for your video.
Yeah,
Same
but
thing with Jello with the bet in the corner like whoa. It's like that's the only part of the song anybody likes.
all you need.
Yeah.
It really is
But
incredible.
it's like that to bring this all back. It's like that's why music is starting to suck because people see that and they're like, that's what succeeds. I'm going to do that. And it's like there used to be people being like, well, I'm going to make a song that's better than that and different than that, and that'll succeed over here. But it's like, oh, that's what works. So everyone's just like
Shorter songs.
becoming the same thing.
Yeah.
All rap sounds the same. All influencers are the same. Everyone's talking the same because there's no like different pockets because one overlord algorithm.
I was watching a clip, and you know how on you could see people who you follow on Instagram now what clips they liked or something like that. So it was like a clip that John Mayer had liked, and it was this songwriter talking about how if you wrote a song right and did it the exact right way, you used to have like an 80% success rate that like if the label liked it, if you liked it, if the artist liked it, you knew it would be a hit. It might take a while, but he said now I have to work like put out 3 times as many songs for like 10% of the success because 100,000 songs come out every single day. Literally 100,000 songs come out every day. And like it's completely dictated by like who can push the song and what's popping on like an the algorithm as opposed to like, oh, this is a hit that was manufactured to be a hit.
See, I used to think it was the opposite. Like, there's less barriers of entry. You don't need a label. You don't need the radio station. Now you put a song out, and if people like it, like, it goes to the top. Like, it's almost like a meritocracy, but now it's become like its own
But it's like
machine.
now if
it's
like I Show Speed puts out a song, or like if Charlie D'Amelio puts out a song, like that's gonna pop off because
No
they have a
matter what.
machine put behind them, but it's not the same machine as like the record labels used to be, where they could just get it onto the radio or
That is
get it
tough.
onto some like placements in
There
videos.
needs to be like two different charts or something. You know what I mean? It's like you got a number one hit like on the internet, and then, like, songwriters and hit makers have like the real number one hits.
I mean, they have those charts. It's just
Nobody listens to
it's
them.
their personal bank accounts.
yeah,
Like, congratulations, you got a hit song on the internet. Here's $10.
Here's your money. Yeah, right.
You have actual fans with the machine.
right. You
can
can sell
welcome to
that
tickets.
stadium.
You can
Right.
sell merch. Yeah, it's a whole different vibe.
The Joe Schmo Show. You've met Joe on the show. You've met Ben on the show. It is a reimagined reality comedy series, and it is out now on TBS, hosted by 5-time Emmy Award nominee Kat Deely. The show within a show format takes aim at the absurdity of reality TV by making an everyday guy named Ben believe he's competing for a chance to win $100,000 on a reality show. Unbeknownst to him, he thinks he's on a regular reality show. Big mistake. He is surrounded by a cast of highly skilled improv actors and comedians. Improv, except for Ben, everyone except for Ben, has come together to pull off the most audacious ruse in television history. The social experiment is about embracing the hilarity of the gameplay's over-the-top physical humor and action-packed moments that take pranks to a new height. The Joe Schmo Show is out now. It is on TBS. Go watch it.
Before we let you go, the big viral hypothetical of the week. You get there's 100 grapes. You seen this one?
No.
Poison grape. You got 100 grapes.
Uh-huh.
You get $10,000 per grape eaten, but one of them is poisoned and you die. How many grapes are you eating?
100.
Guaranteeing death.
No, damn it, no, come on.
No,
Where is it?
I'd be close to 100.
Well, I mean,
I think I
maybe.
could-
You might.
I don't touch the grapes. I
it's
just
what
put a
you-
gun in my mouth. Take it as my chance.
I mean, it's what you sign up for ahead of time. You know what I mean? Obviously, because if you eat a poison one on your second one, you're dead. But it's like if you got to 98 and you
How much money do you get?
10,000 a grape.
That's not much. Like,
Hey, I don't know.
Rich boy.
Yeah.
well, it's not what we're talking about. The other option is dying. Dude, it's not, I'm not saying $10,000 is nothing. I'm saying
I don't wanna
the
die.
next 60 years of my life,
I
I'll
stand
probably
by
make
it.
more than $10,000.
Well, but yeah, but you know, if you said you have a 10% chance of something happening, like that's fine.
That's a pretty high chance.
I don't know. It's also 90% that it's not. You might walk away with 100 grand.
I'm eating 10 grapes.
That's a lot. I think a lot of people have landed on 10.
I don't think I'd eat any.
Now,
Like-
imagine if it was just
Like,
one fucking grape.
10% is a
So
pretty
shit.
high
Yeah.
fucking chance.
No, it's
Oh, it's 1%.
1%.
Yeah. Even 1%, like that's not.
So you have
it's not an
99%.
infinitesimal chance. Like 1%.
This is I've said this
Possible.
like I
But if you eat 10, it's that 10%.
Yeah, right.
but like all the statistics has never made sense to me because I understand that there's like you have like a 1% chance, but you either
It's also 50-50. Yeah, I know,
it's 50-50. Everything is 50-50.
The first one you pick might be a fucking
It's all 50. Oh my god, it bothers me so much.
Yeah, no, that's
I
a
remember
great
taking
point.
whole
I'm
stat
definitely
class.
eating zero.
Yeah, I'm
It's
eating
kinda
zero.
like
Ten
that.
Nothing.
thousand. Okay, well, with what in the perspective of what we're talking about, $10,000 is literally no money.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that needs
For
to be
death.
upped a little bit.
Maybe
you know?
100,000?
Yeah, if it's 100,000 a grape.
Yeah.
10 grapes still.
I don't even know if I'd eat that. 100 grand,
$1 million
For one
a
grape?
grape.
dude. Like we used to do
Oh,
hypotheticals.
yeah, that's
like,
the hypothetical. How
bro, we used to do hypotheticals where like 10% of the seats in a stadium would disappear, or you got $1 billion.
Yeah, now
This
we're
is-
doing a $10,000 bet. Okay, so let's do that. You get $1 million a grape.
Oh, yeah, a couple grapes.
Yeah. Everybody's got their number.
Yeah.
Everybody's got their fucking number, man. That would suck so much dick, though. If there was 100 on the table, you're on a third one, and you're dead. Boy, do I know how to mush it, man. Jesus Christ.
The I know that was one thing before we go. I also going back to your you had asked about a depression thing because one of the notes I had
Yeah.
made because I was watching Paradise on Hulu.
Yeah.
And I still have ads on my Hulu, and I got a lot of better helps.
Bro,
and
you
stuff
better
like
eat some
that.
grapes, bro.
I like commercial breaks. I like because I lock in. Like when I'm watching something,
Gives you a break.
I fucking lock in, and then at a break, I look at my phone a little bit, and I don't like watching TV or movies like on my phone. I don't. I just get a much different level of enjoyment out of them, but I do like to check my phone occasionally. So I got the commercials on. But they have a lot of basically podcast ad reads just as commercials on Hulu, and there's a lot of mental health stuff like that. And I was wondering, like, do you think therapists are kind of like, all right, enough of the advertising? I don't need fucking. You know, I used to I used to have like people coming in and being like, my wife's
mom's
got
dead.
cancer,
Yeah,
my kid's gay, like all kinds of stuff. And now it's just like, I don't know. I think I saw a bunch of commercials and I think
Bro,
I'm depressed.
I know what you mean, but I think those are the best.
You think so?
Like-
I think I'd be
Dude,
sitting there and be like, dude, shut the fuck up. This is a regular problem. Go back outside.
I saw a chick put up a video. It was like, here's how much I make as an online therapist. And she was just dancing. And it was like December, 75 grand. January, 80 grand. And just kept going up to the point that she's making like 150
Are
grand.
you sure
a
that
month.
is that OnlyFans that you're
Well,
talking about?
that's what it felt like.
Really?
Her caption was like, this is the power of marketing. And I was like, you are celebrating your grift.
Yeah.
Like, she was like, she even said it like, this is me as an online therapist. I was like, you're almost degrading your own. At least that's the way I received it. You know what I mean? I was
Yeah.
like,
What
oh,
do
yeah,
people
this
have
is a
degrees
scam.
in? What do therapists have degrees in usually?
Grifting.
Psychology?
Yeah, probably
Psychology.
psychology.
Is it psychology?
My
Like,
sister's
but
a
you don't-
therapist. Her degree, she has her master's in.
Sociology, psychology.
Masters at least sounds legit, but I feel like a lot of people who are therapists don't even need the background in like any of it, psychology, mental health.
They're
I
podcast
think-
hosts, bro. They're
I think
podcast hosts.
As things have grown, I think that is an issue.
Yeah.
That a lot of people.
Yeah, like
are
real
kinda-
therapists are like the real deal, you know?
Yeah.
They'll come up with like breakthroughs in like human psychology.
Right.
But, you know, some of these people that are just like,
Like anything,
Scroll,
right?
like-
Like as the market continues to grow, the product gets diluted, and
yeah. I would almost like, I think like 90% of therapy is spilling your guts and just getting it off your chest. I would propose it as like, I'm a great guy to vent to.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
a doctor. I'll vent with you though. And, like, you can
Like,
say
yeah,
it to me.
she
I
sounds
don't
like a
judge.
bitch.
Yeah. I'll just be like, yeah, this chick sucks. $100. Let's go. $100 an hour. Whatever.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
And last thing on, let me double check. It is the last thing.
You write notes for shows?
Yeah.
Good for you.
Right. Okay. So, in this show, we're talking about if you haven't watched it and you want to watch, don't listen to this. In the show, we're talking about, like, there's an end of world event, right?
Yeah.
And so, but there's still like,
Is
There-
it paradise?
yeah,
Yeah.
there's still a community, and there's still like people go to school. Everything's normal. Like the world's normal except for the fact that the world ended. What do they teach in school? Like, are they teaching about countries and shit? Like
I think it would be-
literally, this doesn't matter. It's all gone.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. And also, I would be like, I think this is a great chance to like restart.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when we're always like, they should have taught a course on like mortgages and taxes and shit. It's like, well, do that shit now, because you're never gonna see or hear. You know, none of this really applies.
'Cause,
Not,
like-
not even. It's not because like old shit doesn't matter anymore, but it still like applies in a general sense. This is like,
Exactly.
it does not apply.
That's what I'm
this
saying.
New,
Like,
this
in
new
this
community
world,
does
like
not
the
matter.
things that happened in the past,
Yeah.
the world we currently live in, they do affect the way the world works.
Yeah, but I guess you
In
could
that
say
world,
that
it doesn't.
You could
the
say
world's
that
gone.
about like ancient history. You know what I mean? Like shit that just is not applicable anymore, but still there's some value in it. You know?
Yeah, there's still some stuff where like this is interesting.
Yeah,
but like
but
you
it's
don't
not really
you don't
applicable,
need to
yeah.
know about, again, like most people these days, most people in most days, like you don't know fucking geography, and like you don't really know what other countries warred outside of the big ones.
Yeah, that definitely doesn't matter anymore.
Right.
Geography,
But
when
like
in this situation,
those fucking, you know, if you're like, oh, you know, the Irish and the English fucking hate each other because of
Yeah, yeah.
Like you don't have to do any of that.
there's no Irish and English anymore. You know what you should do is just make Hitler a black woman.
Black woman
So this
Hitler.
black chick was going wild in Germany in the 40s.
We can't let another one get in power. But I think that it really just goes over to the STEM tab on TikTok. Like that's the important shit.
Yeah.
Like the science, technology, engineering, math. Like that's the stuff you need to like know, teach to other people so they can repopulate and build like new things. Like if you want to engineer something new, if you want to build back better, it doesn't matter about geography. Fucking punctuation definitely doesn't matter. Fucking
All
history
that
barely
shit.
like
You know what
matters.
you
Like
need?
English.
The arts. I've become a big the arts guy.
Yeah,
I think the arts make the world go round. Obviously, engineering.
But you could make the argument it's the like total opposite. You know what I mean?
100%.
The world makes the arts go around.
But like, the only reason most people get up every day, like what if you at the end of the day you're like, what made me happy today? It's usually something like a TV show you watched, a movie you watched, just a song you heard. Like,
but if everybody's trying to rebuild the town and you're like, I'm about to go paint, they're gonna fucking hate you. Dude.
Like, no, trust me, no, you're gonna fucking need this.
I don't know. I think people would be like, he's all we got.
Yeah,
let's go watch. Let's go look at his paintings. I'm not funny. I'm not talented. Let's go look at this fucking guy. That guy becomes king, man. You got a couple jokes in the apocalypse world.
If you
are the
remember some
fucking
jokes,
man, bro.
Oh my God.
You're like, so you telling me like all the comedians are dead?
Yeah.
I'm the funniest guy in the world.
I'm just steal some material.
Yeah, that'd be great. Doing other people's bits and shit. Nobody can find it anymore.
It's also though, is like, speaking of bits, like one of my favorite Nate Bargatze bits is it kind of applies to this when he's like, if I got to go back in time, I'd be in a worse position than I am now. Is what Bargatze says. Hey, he's like,
You have the knowledge, but not the ability.
He's like, I'd see some guy on the phone, be like, you know, one day they're gonna put those in your pocket. He's like, how do they do that? Like, oof. Wish I didn't say anything.
Yeah, fucking crazy.
That's how, if the world ended, they'd be like, so what can you do? I'm like, man.
There's got to be something that you could do.
I can rank snacks for you.
I'll be in town square and I'll just.
No, you know what you could do? You know what you could do? Kinda. Like you could put them on the penicillin.
On the what?
Onto penicillin. Shit like that.
Wow.
Right? It was mold that got left out. Remember?
Yeah.
I mean, I know that much.
They found
but
it.
I don't think that's what penicillin is.
But it kind of is. It really was. Like,
No, but
then he did like.
Yes, but I mean,
found-
you could go find some scientists and be like, yo, like look into that mold shit to cure.
But the scientists are gonna know about that already.
Maybe not.
No,
I
you-
mean, no, there was a time when a bunch of scientists didn't know about that.
I'm sorry.
You know what I'm saying?
I only mentioned that. I see what you're saying. I only mentioned that, and I was speaking about it as like in the paradise world. Yes, back in time. Yes.
Got it.
That
Right,
would work.
the knowledge is already there.
But
Yeah.
with penicillin, though, they found it on one cantaloupe. Like, it was mold that they used on one cantaloupe and turned it into, like, this massive drug company breakthrough, this medical breakthrough. And they haven't been able to find that mold on any other cantaloupe.
Really?
It was just one. It occurred one time. Bullshit.
That makes my antennas go up. Give me the tinfoil. Where's it at?
Cantaloupes. Bring him a fucking bushel of cantaloupes. A taste of the mold.
But what's the argument? My question with conspiracy is always like, but why? Like
in this case, it would
like,
be a good thing. Like it's like penicillin helps save people, but
like the big one now. And I'm always, oddly enough, I'm always very defensive of the Chiefs dynasty. I'm rooting for you, by the way.
Thank you.
But I am
am
defensive of it because of how, like, just I remember how it was with the Pats. Like I was there, I was in the trenches. I remember everyone saying it didn't count, it wasn't real, blah 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 blah. Like I don't get the Patrick Mahomes. Like
what?
I don't get why they would do it.
Do what?
Like why there would be this massive conspiracy that the Chiefs have to win.
Oh yeah.
Because also you need 30 or 29 owners who agree to
sign
this.
off on it. Yeah.
Like it doesn't make any sense.
Taylor Swift.
Yes, of course. Taylor Swift.
Idiot.
Like, it's rigged for the Chiefs. I'm like, why would it be rigged for the Chiefs?
I'm so like,
why would they rig it for a team in Kansas City?
Yeah, it makes no
Like
sense.
there's most conspiracy theories. I think like if you ask like 3 questions, it's like you're right. That makes sense.
I'm so like the opposite of the world on Mahomes. I love Mahomes, man.
I
don't love him. He's not my guy, but I'm like I think he's great.
There's not much to hate.
I think he's a good dude. Like I like Brady Mahomes now.
Yeah, dude, did you see Greer's tweet the other night?
No,
So
what
fucking
did he
funny.
say?
Greer was before the game, and I'm gonna pull it up. So
Brittany
everyone-
Mahomes was
I'm
annoying as
paraphrasing.
fuck, no doubt. But like over the course of time, it's like she's a pretty like down ass wife who just like raises kids and like reps him and the family well. Like
She
I don't
also
know.
hit the jackpot. Like,
Yeah,
of course
yeah,
she's
well-
annoying. She hasn't known like heartbreak. You know what I mean? She got with him
She
when
found
they
a
were like
$500 million
$15.
guy when he was 15. Yeah,
And
yeah.
Now it's like him
yeah.
winning
But
a lottery
I
ticket.
think there are way worse like wags and shit out there that are.
1.5 million views on this tweet. Patrick Mahomes, whose brother is a sexual assaulter, father is a serial drunk driver, and wife is mildly off-putting, gets the ball back with Chiefs up 7-3.
So good. So fucking good. Yeah, I'm not rooting for you, bro. I can't do it. I can't do it because I need anything that can, piss off Patriots fans, discredit Brady in a little bit. Like,
That
I
doesn't
agree.
piss me
That
off
is nice.
either, though.
That
Like,
is
not you, but other.
it is.
Even mentioning there are Patriots fans who will not acknowledge that he is like chasing him down, that he's like really in the
He's
conversation.
on his ass.
He's on his ass.
Brady beat him before.
If he gets to
like,
4 before he's 30,
30,
that's
if you have
crazy.
and you have a 3-peat, something he never did. That's also a nice little check.
It's a nice little thing. But I think I'm more okay with it because you're never gonna get me. Like, you can think whatever the fuck you want. I don't care who you think the best quarterback is.
But
I think it's Tom Brady.
Right. But you're the exception to the rule. I don't know what's more impressive or what's more crazy. The fact that Patrick Mahomes, that Tom Brady did what he did, and what he accomplished should be something like we don't see that for another 100 years.
Right.
And somebody else basically overlapped with him. What's more crazy, that or the fact that what Patrick Mahomes has done is like halfway there?
That
I don't know
is
which
what
is
I think
crazier.
gets overlooked.
He's
when
not
people-
even halfway
when
there
people
yet.
trying
Yeah.
to bring it into the
He's at
conversation.
3, he needs
I'm like,
7.
I'm like, you're just
to
rushing
tie.
it. He's great.
It's like-
He's awesome. You're rushing this conversation.
It's
He's
like
not halfway.
he
yet.
did all this before 30. It's like he has to do that again
After 30.
from 30 to 40.
Right.
And that would just
And
tie.
he might not.
And that would
Yeah,
just
they'll
tie.
Kelsey will
tie
be
him.
gone, and Reed will probably go. Like, it's going to be
Yeah.
hard. And I'm not rooting for him, but if it happens, it happens. Great.
What I think
But-
will be more interesting, and it's not. I don't even know if it's better or worse, but it's different that if he just does like 6 and 7 years. Brady had those weird gaps, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could make that an argument for or against. Like he had the longevity, he was able to return. Well, he started cheating and using whatever Alex Guerrero has, whatever. But it's like, what's better is, it's like, yeah, I crammed it all in, or I was able to do it 3 different dynasties over the course of 20 years. you know?
Yeah.
But if Patrick Mahomes plays like 20 seasons like Brady does, I mean, that's good.
He's gonna do it.
It's also it's weird that we're so surprised, and I am as well. Like wow, it's happening so fast. Like, when did Montana retire? Like mid-90s?
When
Yeah.
you retire?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
midnight.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
he's
but-
He was like 5 years before Brady.
Yeah,
like,
but he won like
it's-
3, right?
Montana? No,
Yeah.
4.
4? Okay. 4 is where you start to really hit that territory. But
I'm trying to see when he
But that's
retired.
I guess so.
whole
I guess
life.
there's always greatness. And then Bradshaw and the
Oh wait, so
Steelers
no,
had,
he
like,
played.
4.
Yeah, he played till '94, so he was 6 years before Brady. Basically, every generation has
a
that
guy like
quarterback.
this. Yeah. But I don't know, when you go from 4 to like 7 and
Yeah.
9 appearances, something like that.
10
appearances.
right?
That's the other thing too, is the appearances. Like in football, making a Super Bowl is almost
Lost
a
the
notch in
Giants
belt.
twice, Eagles. Yeah, so
Yeah,
10
so like
appearances.
10 appearances.
He made it every other year.
And I'm sure Montana went to 4 and won 4. That was always the argument. He never lost any.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
But he also only went to 4.
Right.
Tom Brady went to 2.5 more times Super Bowls than.
And then they did it with Steve Young right after. Like that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
if the Patriots had done it with like Brian Hoyer or like
Yeah, right.
Mac Jones right after they drafted
Ugh.
Mac Jones, and then he made a Super Bowl.
Well, what they kind of did? They tried to do this early in Brady's era, or in Brady's reign. They were trying to Matt Castle had a good team. Matt Castle played well. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
Matt
10 and
Castle
6.
won like 11-5.
Yeah.
Yep.
Brady went undefeated. It's a 6-win difference.
Yeah, it's a huge
Right, like-
chunk of the
Yeah.
season.
It's
like
a
half the
si-
season better. Yeah.
Tom Brady went 17-0 or whatever with a team that he went 11-5. That's a humongous difference.
Right. Fuck you guys. Fuck both of you, man.
I mean, it's
Worst
I
of
still
luck to
don't.
you, sir.
I still feel like I'm an imposter with the Super Bowl shit. Like I don't feel like we're a dynasty or anything like that. We've won 1 Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You should not feel like you're a dynasty.
That's what I mean.
do-
Well,
oh, okay.
why am I getting a fuck you then?
Oh, well, you just won 1.
Yeah,
I
we won
think
1.
I don't have enough. I mean, maybe it's because I've always had kind of a tie to Philly. Like my aunt lived there when I was young, so I'd go a lot, and I always liked Philly. And then I had never really had much experience with like the people of Philly until I started working here, and I like everyone from Philly. So
You're in the minority.
I love Philly.
Not people here,
Dude,
but most people are like,
I
oh,
love
totally.
Philly teams. I love Philly sports fans. I love Philly people. I'm a big Philly guy.
If not for me, just root for us for Smitty.
choose love. All right, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, like, and leave a comment below. Click that button.
Or I'll cut off my finger.